Beers and Boogers is back. Happy birthday there, Baconator.
Happy birthday, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, no kidding. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Man, I remember when I was 36.
I don't.
Golly, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm with you. 36.
36?
I have clothes older than you.
22 years ago for me.
I know I've got pew-pews older than myself in here. So.
You got what?
I got pew-pews that are older than me.
Pew-pews.
That's only about 31 years ago.
Well, that didn't take him long, did it? So, I don't know whether to call you D.A. Roberts or Jeffrey or Milk.
Well, tonight I'm Milk Manius Maximus.
See that? Does that have something to do with the new hat, or
I don't know.
how far did you chase out Australian to get it?
I tried to catch River, but he got away from me.
How's River doing? Have you heard?
Not today. Yesterday he was still in there with high blood pressure. I haven't talked to him today. Hopefully they get that worked out soon. He's been out in and out of the hospital so much here lately. I don't know how Australian healthcare works, but damn.
I'm sure it's just as crazy expensive as anything else here in the United States. So.
Well, Jerry, didn't you say it was the zoo the other night when you went to pick Cindy up?
Yes. Yeah. There was,
that was 4th of July, so everybody probably
There's 5 ambulances sitting there, 2 Medicare vans sitting there, and when the door slid open to look in, they were lined up down the hallway on stretchers, waiting on a room or waiting to be seen.
Probably some bandages around some fingers.
Gosh, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it, man.
Wow.
Yep, busy place.
Yeah, we were always very safe with our fireworks handlings, except for that one time we set off $3,000 in about
30 seconds. Yeah.
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 I think there was a pro football player that blew his fingers off, if I heard correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you had money doesn't mean you're intelligent.
No, that's a fact.
Hashtag truth. Hashtag truth.
Gary Spikes, I tell you what, it ain't just this hospital, it's everywhere. You're absolutely right. This hospital here in the county is under scrutiny all the time because it is now the only large hospital in the county.
In the county, yeah.
There was another one, the one I was born in, down in Havre de Grace, down along the water, Susquehanna. That was closed down, and there was another one built in Aberdeen that's, I want to call it a micro hospital / doctor office.
You mean MedStar?
Whatever that's called down there in Aberdeen.
Phyllis, that's what I was talking. I'm sorry, rapper, not a football player.
When that last nail I put through my foot.
So you have to rap like this, man. Won't be no more. Yeah.
They're going to call him Stumpy Littlefoot or something afterwards.
I appreciate everybody being in chat. This was a last minute. Well, we talked about it earlier today, and I told the guys, Jeff and Chad, and David Blaylock. I wish David would have answered today, but I'm sure they're busy. I was kind of hoping he could come on too.
Is he off? Is he off on Sundays or does he work?
I don't know.
I think he's working at least 6 days a week.
I know he's working 6.
Okay, I know he got busy, and so, but we weren't sure if we were going to have a show, and we knocked off here about 2:30 or so, and come in, got cleaned up, and ate. And I said, "Yeah, I guess we'll do a show." It's been a while since we did Beards and Boogers. Plus, some local people here, Mother, has been asking, "You gonna do it, Beards and Boogers, or not?" So.
Hi, Jerry's mom.
She cares more about the off the wall show than she does about
the old line Cryptid shows. They say, "Oh yeah, we'll watch it." This is their favorite one, but anyway.
Phyllis, no, Phyllis, I did not have a show today, or we did not have a show. It was 4th of July weekend, and we knew of some people that were going to be out of town and still celebrating. So, it's the greatest holiday besides Christmas, right? To me. So
Independence Day is grand, baby.
That's right.
I was watching clips of the Independence Day movie today.
Hey.
Yeah.
At the time it came out, it was a phenomenal movie. But
Absolutely was.
as years go by, you kind of see how cheesy it is. But Hollywood, they're going to remake it, so
Yeah.
they'll have 2 live action people, and everything else will be.
Whoever thought Eddie was going to fly into a spaceship and be a hero?
Eddie was going to take out that alien spaceship.
Yeah, man.
That's their version of getting us in tune for what's coming.
Hey,
Yeah.
I said that the other night to Erica. All these movies we've been watching lately, the end of the world stuff, and I was like, "What?
Absolutely.
2012? What was it? 2012? Deep Impact. Keep an eye on these movies. Terminator. Keep an eye."
Don't look up. Have you seen that one? Don't Look Up.
I have not seen that. Was a net. I don't have Netflix.
Great movie. That's a great movie.
Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the Netflix that's got like all the big stars in it? And
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, I actually saw a falling star last night while I was standing out here in the yard.
That's cool. Falling or shooting?
It just went.
Oh.
Man, I
okay.
love the flights of meteorites. My goodness,
And of course,
they're like finding diamonds.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with one of the Bigfoot people. Whenever something happens, I'm on the phone with somebody.
There you go.
And this time it was Greg House. It wasn't Barry Browning this time.
Barry.
What's happened to Barry Browning?
I forgot Barry.
What happened to Barry? We don't see him anymore.
It's Uncle Barry.
He's been working.
There for a while, he was on a lot of shows and just kind of disappeared.
Robert Dendoven, 50 years ago, Jaws. Can you believe Jaws is 50 years ago, man? Isn't that crazy?
How many of you?
I remember when that
when
movie
it
came
came
out.
out. I was living in Florida.
I love Jaws.
Everybody was freaking out.
Patrick, I was getting ready to say, it's still to this day, if I'm in the ocean, I still worry about that, just because of that movie.
You got that music going in your brain.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, everybody's going to remember this, and this is a personal favorite of mine, the Tremors trip. The Tremors.
Yeah, that's a crazy one, too.
They did like 7 of them.
Tremors?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tremors are great.
And finally, in the last one, Bert sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
Well, Christ, he's like 70-some years old now, if not 80.
Yeah.
He blew himself up with the graboid.
You're getting old when all your favorite childhood actors are gone, are dying.
Yeah.
I still live through movies. That's like my step away from reality, is get into the movies thing. And like Patrick just kind of said right there, I've noticed that a lot of these movies
getting into something.
A lot of these movies are kind of coming true.
Well, it's a known fact that they go and find out a lot of technology from like the military and stuff to make these movies.
The man, the myth, the legend is here.
It's the house.
It's tater salad.
Man, what Yarrington, has anybody gave him a birthday whooping yet?
We're still trying to
Jeff, did your girlfriend give you? Did you get I'm not a MILF. Cougar birthday whooping yet?
He probably got him a birthday spanking.
That'll be next week when she comes to visit. I had to go up there to a family party she was having with some friends yesterday.
Wow.
And Greg, look, I got my Australian hat now.
Man, where'd you get that at?
I got it from the Outback Hat Company. I actually ordered it through Amazon.
Awesome.
Is it made in China or actually Australia?
It's Australian. Bet you.
Absolutely, Patrick's from West Virginia.
It's what the hell is it?
Yeah.
Let's just say Australia.
It's called Sidewinder Headwear.
Australia. I like that
Actually,
better.
that's right. I was ordering one from Outback, but they were out of stock for the one I was looking at.
Y'all, I'll give a shameless plug, but they're up here off I-65 here at Good Hope, Alabama. There's a place called Jack's Western Wear. My gosh, y'all, it's boots and hats and all kind of
got a
Western
place like
stuff.
that up here right across the line in PA.
Yes, but anyway, there at Jack's, I bought that one that I've got. It's it's made in Australia. It's like Aussie. I can't remember. It's like Aussie Hat Company or something. But I know River said he knew the town. I told him the town. He's like, oh yeah, he knew where it was.
Greg, wasn't
right.
it the Wagga Wagga Hat Company?
That's right. It was Wagga Wagga Hat Company. That's right. That's what it is. Yep.
The big
I
question
got
here
one.
is everybody wants to know how your son's doing in chat.
Oh, hey, I can't see chat right here. You have to
Yeah.
inform him. But anyway, that was a dramatic detail. He he almost got sun poison, which that wasn't what got him today.
Oh.
He was burnt, and he's got a bunch of little small blisters about like the end of your thumb. It's actually popped up. But what it boiled down to was they didn't listen to me Friday evening. You know, Dad don't know nothing. And I kept telling them, look, put some paper towels and soak it with apple cider, or not apple cider, but distilled white vinegar. And it'll pull the heat out and it'll help it. And then make sure that you're keeping plenty of stuff on it to keep the skin hydrated. Well, you know, my voice most of the time to my kids and my wife is apparently the same tone as a dog whistle because they cannot hear it. And today he had got in the shower, and when the water hit it, it like broke him down and had him crippled and broke, and he was about to die, which I'm sure it was horrible because he's like, you know, like, yeah, his whole back, his shoulders, the top of his shoulders, the outsides of his arms, his neck, even his face he looks like a properly cooked crawfish right now. But the skin, I mean, I could see it. And once I felt of it, just, you know, like laid the back of my hand to it, and the heat was gone, so that the fevers broke. And but he was like wanting to cry because he's like, Daddy ain't never had anything like this. He said it's itching so bad, and I can't scratch it because scratching it hurts. But the water running on it was helping him. But he was broke down. He couldn't get out of the shower because he said he couldn't stand it. So me being me, I'm like, what did you put on it? And Juana's like, he won't let me put nothing on it. He's hurt too bad. And for me, I'm like, well, he's got to have something to numb it. I looked at her. I said, have you not got some chloroseptic throat spray? Well, it ain't his throat. I'm like, yeah, I know it's not his throat, but that stuff, it's got like lidocaine in it.
Yeah.
So, or whatever it is, I said, get that. So I finally had to coax him into stepping out of the stream of water, and I patted his back dry, and I saturated his back with that in his neck and stuff. And he finally started getting some relief. And I told him, I said, son, you're dehydrated still. Your skin's dehydrated. We got to get some fluids in you. And then I finally got him some, the same stuff that I put on my arms when I get ink done. It's the best skin cream ever. It's that A&D ointment.
Yep.
It's what they use for like baby rash.
Yep.
So I started applying that, put it all over his back and his shoulders. And I guess, you know, that soothed the dried skin. So a while ago I gave him because he was itching so bad, I went ahead and gave him a Benadryl. But I got him finally calmed down, and he wasn't feeling like he's gonna die. We got the pain level from a 9.5 down to about a 2.
Good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a big.
I tell you, when I first did this to myself, I made the mistake of cutting grass for about 4 hours and didn't put anything on it. And to this day, when my head tans, there are blister scars from where all the blisters, and I couldn't touch my head for at least a week. It hurt so bad, and I was just putting aloe. But I like the lidocaine. That really never thought about that.
Lidocaine is good for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I use it when we dehorn calves. I give them a shot right here in between the horn and the ear.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you use it on yourself. Okay.
Yeah, I got sunburnt today, man. Whew.
Did you?
Yeah.
You also got to be prepared for poison ivy. I keep that damn Tech New poison ivy scrub here in the bathroom just in case I get into some of that nasty stuff.
Sean Collins says he's sunburnt too.
Yeah, Sean. Sean was posting pictures. He was building
the steps
today.
Yeah, it's a redhead thing. People don't understand. If you ain't a redhead, if you ain't a ginger, you don't understand.
My
and
son,
we found
y'all.
out that one of the steps on my mom's porch was bad because I fell right through it today.
There you go. That but y'all, my son, he's anybody that's seen him, he's like a crimson red haired, and
He has
he
got
is
the
like
reddest hair I've ever seen, Greg.
he is snow white. I'm talking about his
Yeah.
Who's
his
that?
skin is white. But golly, y'all, he got. I knew he's made a big man. I mean, he's 19, but y'all, he's about. I guess he's probably 225 pounds. He's 6'2.5", and he works out 4 days a week religiously and has for 4 years.
That's a big boy.
My God, he is. Yeah, he ain't fat. There's fat nowhere. I'm talking about. He's laying there today, and his arms. He had his arms up, laying on his stomach. His arms up like this, and his darn arms is like that big around.
Yeah.
But
Did
he
you
was.
teach him not to let his? Did you teach him not to let his girlfriend drop her cell phone, the deer blind yet?
No doubt. He that was a sad day. Yeah, that I'll tell that one on him. He back last fall, I got him to go. He'd kind of quit hunting with me because for his whole life he'd hunt with me some, but my dad, before dad passed away, it was always him and my dad. It's him and his papa in the shooting house, and look. Colt killed a train car load of deer when him and my daddy was hunting together, and then dad passed in 2021. So the last time they got to hunt together was in 2020, and my son had just kind of took his spirit away about hunting. He couldn't. Honestly, it was kind of like he felt like he was abandoning his papa, even though his papa wasn't here anymore, to go without him. He just didn't have the spirit to do it. Well, I finally got him to go this year. And I told him, I said, look, bring your girlfriend. So they went and got in the shooting house, or I took them and put them in the shooting house. We went across to another field about a quarter of a mile away. And my son hunts with a Browning 270 semi-automatic. And I
Wasn't that
was in
your
one.
dad's?
Yeah, it was my daddy's rifle. I actually bought that rifle and gave it to dad in about, it was been about 2010. I gave it to dad and I told him, I said, look, I'm going to give you this rifle. He said, no, I'm going to pay you for it. I said, no, you ain't. Now we're talking about the setup's about $1,800 setup with scope, rifle, mounts, sling, and all. I said, nope. I said, I'm going to give it to you. And I said, it's under one condition. I said, one of these days when you can't hunt no more or you pass away, I said, it goes to Colt. That way you have his papa's last deer rifle. And that's why Colt got this gun. But anyway, I was in one shooting house, and one and Abby was in another one, and Colt and his girlfriend was in that one. Well, I heard him shoot. I heard it kaboom. And then here a second, kaboom. Oh, well, maybe he's got one. Well, we waited till it got dark and went to go get them. And I was like, what'd you shoot? I missed it. I said, Colt, how'd you miss it? You don't never miss. You've never missed a deer ever. Well, it was running. I said, what was it? He said, well, I'm not sure. So what do you mean you're not sure? He said, well, they both had pretty good racks. I said, both of them? Yeah. I said, what happened? He said, well, they come out in the field and I was getting ready to shoot them and said they got over and got to fighting. So there was a bunch of does out there and these two bucks come out and got to fighting. And he said, I was going to let them separate and then I was going to shoot one. And he said, they took off running. There was about 150, 175 yards. He said they bolted and I was just trying to shoot one before it got to the woods. He said, but I missed them both. I said, well, what spooked him? He dropped his head. I said, what happened? His girlfriend goes, I dropped my phone. I said, what? She said, I dropped my phone in the bottom of the shooting house and made a big bang and every deer in the field took off. So yeah, that's what happened. He didn't. But I was just proud he went. I mean, he got to see deer, she got to see deer, and they had experience. They got to learn them a lesson about being quiet in the shooting house.
Yeah.
My ex-wife one time, that was the first and the last time. Actually, twice I took her, but this was the last time I took her. She got cold the first time. We weren't in there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the second time, she was taking selfies in the tree stand, and deer walked out, and I had a muzzle loader, and she's moving around, and I'm trying to get set up. Well, finally, I took the shot, and I shot right over its back. So she's like, well, shoot again. I'm like, this is black powder. This doesn't work like that. So I'm standing there.
Yeah.
Loading the gun.
Yeah.
Please specify that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, I knew with that extended movement, he wasn't talking about the others.
Happy birthday, Jeffrey.
Finally,
Hillary.
I got
Hillary's-
reloaded and I got it. And she's like, "What took so long?" I'm like, "Do you understand how this works? If I miss the first shot, I have to manually
Right.
load this thing."
Black powder, yeah.
And it's quicker when you use the pellets, but it's still the same principle. You got to do all that stuff, and then at least I don't have to grease a paper patch and all that stuff to jam it in there like we're in the Civil War.
I have
Man.
a question for Dr. House.
You're probably the youngest person in Woodwalkers and Boogers, aren't you?
Yeah.
Other than Abby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It goes from
Hillary.
Jeff. It goes from Jeff down to a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Hillary wants to know if you can take the burn of a sunburn out with raw potato slices like you can on the burns. Have you heard?
I figure you could. I've never tried it, but I have heard of people like just scraping potatoes instead of slicing, just scrape it and pack it on it. I know that's what I always did for my eyes. I used to work in a welding shop, and we'd get somebody new in there, and they'd be arcing the weld off to your side.
Oh,
I'd
right.
come home, and my eyes would be toasted.
I
You
want
know,
to.
it's
So-
a good thing for bee stings if you got chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Oh, look, I will tell you something that I did learn. We had a surgeon. We had a surgeon that hunted with us for about 7 or 8 years, and we was over at the hunting camp, South Alabama, and one of my cousins, I'm talking about, he didn't have a hair on top of his head. He was slick bald, and this old boy was about 6'4" and weighed about 275 pounds, and he was pretty much pure muscle. But he walked up into we was looking at this old rundown shack to make to fix it up and make a hunting camp out of it. And they went in the back door of this old shack, and he walked out and he opened the front door, and it had those aluminum awnings that hung out, just an angle. He walked up there, and it was hot summertime. He took his hat and he rubbed his head, and he kind of done that. When he did, there was a guinea wasp nest about big as a butter bowl, and his hat was like fanned that nest, and it looked like 15 of them wasps turned loose and went and just stuck on top of his head.
Oh man.
Well, he jumped out of that door, hit the ground rolling and swatting. Well, we got him over and got him set down, and he was this old boy. It put him to his knees when them guinea wasps hit him. And
What the hell's a guinea wasp?
well, what we call a guinea wasp is they'll be yellow and black striped, but it's a wasp instead of like a yellow jacket, but they'll be striped like that. That's what we call them in Alabama. But anyway, that surgeon, he was down there with us. He looked around, went over and got to digging in his truck, and he come back out, and he had one of the little round roll packs about big as your finger of Rolaids. And he got some water out of his truck, and he took a pocket knife. He put that Rolaid on the tailgate of a truck, and he took a butt of his pocket knife and mashed it up and just crushed it. And he poured a little water with it and made a paste. He got the daubing that Rolaid, that paste on them bee stings. And was like, "Doc, what are you doing?" He said, "Well, it's simple." He said, "A bee venom was acid base." He said, "You can put this antacid on it and it'll neutralize it." Y'all, he went to poking that Rolaid paste. He just put little wads of it on there, and it wasn't just a little while. I mean, it didn't even hardly whelp up or anything. It just, the skin never.
That makes
Wow.
sense.
Yeah, but just Rolaid paste or any kind of antacid, you can. We've done it since, and God, I probably wasn't 10 or 12 years old, so that would have been pushing 40 years ago. But since then, I've got stung and you take a Rolaid or a Tums and just put it in your mouth and lick it and just hold it on it, and it'll absolutely neutralize that bee venom.
Oh wow.
I put baking soda on.
I've used toothpaste. I've used chewing tobacco.
Yeah, I see Aunt Verby there. Aunt Verby, the one I'm talking about, the cousin that happened to was Keith Howell. Keith Howell and Jerry Turner was with us. That's some of mine and Verby's cousins, and Well, yeah, it was Keith Allen. Keith was a big old man. But yeah,
Anybody ever get stung in the lip?
I've been stung
Oh, yeah.
right underneath the eye.
Yeah.
Swelled up, looked like a boxer.
Let me tell you a horror story about Alabama in the fall. Down here we have like record-breaking yellow jacket nests.
Oh my Lord!
And
Is this one of your bulldozer?
yes, sir. I cut the top off of that yellow jacket nest. I was on my bulldozer, and when I cut the top of it, I was cutting probably a foot deep on one side of the blade, rolling the dirt across to level it up. And man, it cut the top off that nest. And what it was an old pine stump about. It was probably 20 inches, and that stump was rotted, and those yellow jackets went down under it. And when that blade on that bulldozer hit that stump, the whole top just sheared off. It looked like you would kick the lid off a 55-gallon drum. And there was a black cloud, just a plume. It looked like smoke rolled out of it, but it was yellow jackets.
You can't get
y'all,
away from them.
No.
I felt, when I seen it, I was watching that corner of the blade, and when that blade went across that, they poofed out, and I hit the clutch on the dozer, and I jerked it out of first gear. I went pushed it forward over and pulled it into reverse, and I let off on the clutch. And by the time it took me to do that, those things were going in on my face. Y'all, I just had a short goatee then. But those, I jerked my hat off, and I'm swatting and hitting them and stuff. Well, finally, I just threw my hat in the floorboard of that dozer. I would take both hands. Now, look, I'm not even looking where I'm going. The dozer's going backwards, and they're eating me alive. The whole hood of the dozer turns black with yellow jackets. And the cab, I'm talking about, y'all, there was thousands in there with me. And I was taking my hands, and I would reach like this, my hands open, and it would come across my head. And I'd go like this, and I'd squeeze my hands. And when I'd squeeze them, I'd sling my hands down, and I was throwing 2 handfuls of squish yellow jackets. They'd splat when they hit the floorboard.
Oh,
were they stinging your hands too, or they?
Oh yeah, they stung me all in the palms, but I'd squish them. I'm talking about, dude, they'd be like 100 yellow jackets. I'd squeeze them and throw them down, and it would be such a wad they would splat when they hit the floor. And as quick as I could do that, I could go right back, and I'd pull them again, and I'd squeeze them again. They was going and break them off, and when I was killing these, they was hitting me again. Y'all, they was trying to go up my nose. They was trying to go up my mouth. They was trying to sting me in the eyes. They was trying to go up my ears. They went all up my shirt. I had on a pair of shorts. They was going up my pants legs. Y'all, I reached over and I caught that dozer. I caught the throttle, and I pulled it completely wide open and caught second in reverse. And this dozer, now it ain't fast, but when the throttle was wide open, it was in high reverse. The tracks was going clickety-clack, 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 and I was running across this cutover, going over logs and stumps. The dozer's bouncing, and I'm still just killing yellow jackets. I bet there would have been an ice cream bucket of dead yellow jackets in the floorboard of that dozer that I squeezed with my hand. Y'all, they stung me. I'm talking about, I had, when they sting, the stinger will break off with the little poison sign. Well, I back this dozer, y'all. I go probably 75, 80 yards. Well, there's like 15 people in the hunt club, and they're across the hall, like across the cutover, but down and back up the hill. They're about 200 yards. Everybody's over there, and I'm over here by myself on a dozer. So they're watching it happen. And my dad said when I started backwards, and then I took off, and I was going so fast, running over the old, logs and stuff, said one of the guys said, "What in the hell is he doing?" Daddy said, I told him, said, "He's got damn yellow jackets." Well, I finally I shoved the throttle, pushed the dozer into neutral, and shoved the throttle and dropped the blade. And I had to jump off the dozer. They had followed me that far backwards. So I jumped off, hit the ground, and went running and staggering. And I got away from the dozer about 75, 80 yards, and Dad come pulling up his pickup. I opened the door and got in, and y'all, I was taking my arms. I'd take my hand, and I'd just rake. And I'd squeeze a handful, and I'd grab this arm and rake a handful and squeeze them. I'd throw them on the ground. Y'all, they lost count at like 150 or 60 stings. They just finally just gave up. They're like, but what?
They don't stop.
Y'all, I opened Dad's glove box, and we always keep Benadryl. and I took 3 Benadryl right then. Took them right then. If I hadn't had Benadryl, I probably died. But we drove back over and got in the shade trees where everybody else was at, and there was 2 of my buddies in the club. Their wives was there, which them girls hunted too. But they took like a credit card or a damn driver's license or something, and they would take and put it and they'd rake it down my arms. And they was holding my arm up, and they'd just rake. And they'd rake it, and then you could look at the edge of that like a plastic card. It'd just be lined up with stingers. And then they'd rake, they'd wipe it off. And they went around, y'all. I had, which I didn't have a whole lot of hair, but it was probably this long. But I had dead yellow jackets mashed down in my hair. They was picking them out, and they was moving my hair around and getting stingers off my head. But you talking about, y'all, I got pretty woozy and felt horrible, but I didn't never have any problems breathing or anything. But this
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So I know when bees sting, they die. When they choose. So do wasps grow their stingers back?
No, those yellow jackets, from what I understand, they'll die after they sting. They'll die, but now wasps won't. Wasps won't break theirs off.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have. I meant yellow jackets.
Yeah, that's horrifying, man.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
About I don't know, 3 or 4 years after that happened, I was on a piece of my property down here about 3 miles from here, down on the lake at the Greenfield, and another rotten stump where I'd had some land cleared. I come right there on a tractor with a disc in the ground to plant green fields. And one of the discs on that disc hair hung a stump, and it rolled the stump out. It about big around as a coffee can. It rolled it out. It was like a cloud of yellow jackets past the bulldozer, or past not the bulldozer, but the tractor. Like they went by me and then turned and come back. Well, I got stung 80 something times then. But what I done, I tried to outrun them on the tractor. I went about 75, 80 yards, and I knocked the tractor out of gear and dropped the disc down. And I jumped off the tractor and took off running. I got a log road that goes through the woods. Y'all, I run up that log road 75 yards. And I'm killing them and swatting them. And it wasn't so many on my face, but it was around my neck and my arms and stuff. They eat me alive. And y'all, I got up there, and I was killing them and got them all killed. And I'm standing there, and I got my hands on my knees, and I'm huffing and puffing, trying to breathe. Because, fat boys don't run far without getting out of breath. And I'm standing there, and I start hearing, whoa, 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 and I turned and looked up. And I swear to God, it looked like I was Pigpen on Charlie Brown. There was a ball. There's a ball, like a swarm of these damn things, and they're coming. And about that time, pop, pop, pop. And I took off running again. And y'all, I run another probably 50, 60 yards and got away from them. Well, I could still hear them over there swarming. And y'all, it was dry. It was in the fall. It was dry. And I was in a bunch of oak trees. I hit my knees. I'm like, I can't run no more. I'm hurting so bad. I'm out of breath. And I hit my knees, and I started raking up all these oak leaves while I jerked my cigarette lighter out. And I started setting them on fire. And I got me a fire rolling, and I would just reach out and rake leaves and pile it on it. And that smoke was just rolling. Y'all, I couldn't hardly breathe. I was trying to stay huddled in that smoke. And them things got right over me and just flying everywhere, but they wouldn't come down to me in that smoke. In about probably 5 minutes, they left. And I reckon they went back to that stump hole where their nest was. But I stayed down there. I stayed down there for probably 30 minutes. I was hurting so bad I couldn't hardly stand it. Well, then finally somebody hollers, and it was my dad and my brother. And I said, are them yellow jackets still out there? He said, we'll see where you messed it up, but ain't none out here. So I went back. Of course, I ate more Benadryl.
There's your
you're probably the yellow jacket king now of the yellow jackets with all the yellow jacket venom in you. You're part of them now.
I'm telling you, dude, that I don't wish that on anybody. And that's why I'm leery. I'm leery every fall when it comes time to get greenfields ready.
I hate yellow jackets.
I was moving calf hutches last year at the skid loader, and I picked up one of them with the spike, and I was moving it, and I went and I picked up another one. And I seen a nest that fell out of one of them, so I said, all right, they must have fell out of the hut. We're fine. Well, I picked up the hut next to it, and I guess that must have been the there must have still been part of a nest inside. And next thing you know, I'm getting attacked in the skid loader, and I'm swinging around and swinging this calf hutch. And finally, I bailed out of the skid loader. They didn't get me too many times. I managed to outrun them somehow, but I was trimming a hedge bush once.
Man, I couldn't imagine that, buddy.
And I didn't see the damn nest, and I hit it with the hedge trimmers. And these were them, I don't think they were the white face. I think they were just yellow jackets. But, man, they come out and they landed on my lip. And I got stung like 4 or 5 times right here. I looked like I had Botox. Like my whole lip was. So I was like, well, all right, I'm going to fix these things. So I went over to the shop and got a can of gas. It was either gas or diesel fuel. And I walked over and I dumped that entire can on that nest.
I'm picturing Jeff with his lips swelled up, turned inside out, looked like a baboon's butthole.
That's pretty much what it looked like. Let's just say that part of the hedge bush never grew back after I dumped all that fuel on it.
I bet.
Hey, just so anybody knows, if you want to kill any insect, whether it be a wasp, bee, spider, brake cleaner works very well.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, Jeff, I went back that one yellow jacket nest down there where it got me when I was on the tractor. But look, I didn't even bush hog that year. I was just disking it, cut the grass back in it. Well, I didn't mess with it anymore that day. I told Dad, I said, I'm gonna come back down here tomorrow, and I'm gonna ease up there, and I'm gonna throw some gasoline on it, and I'm gonna torch it. Well, we walked up there, and I got on the downhill side where the grass was still pretty high. But what it was, I just had one strip right down the middle that was about 5 feet wide that the grass was still up. Everything else was disc. So I went down there, and I was in that plowed ground, and I walked right up to the edge of the grass. Well, just about, through the 5 or 6 foot of grass was where that nest was that ate me alive. Well, I walked up there. I wasn't going to wait up in the grass. And I had a Mountain Dew bottle that I'd cut the top of it out of. So there's probably 16 ounces of gasoline. So what I did, I just went up there and just threw the whole bottle, threw it over in that hole. And of course, they was yellow jackets trying to come out. Well, I reached down and I grabbed a little bit of it spilt through the grass. Well, I got me a summer cedar and I lit it and threw it across. Well, when I did, fire just went everywhere. Well, some of the fumes had got out into that sage grass. And look, y'all, that fire went out in that sage and set it on fire. All right. Immediately, I hear something in this grass between me and the yellow jacket nest. And this thing is like, you hear it like, it wasn't rattling, but it was zipping through it. Well, I went running backwards and I look. And y'all, they was a copperhead. That thing was as big around as a water bottle, about 3.5 foot long. And that bastard come out of that damn grass. He's doing this and his damn head's up and he's striking. And he's coming straight at me. I go running backwards further and that son of a gun chased me about 20 feet. I finally got stopped. I had my Glock pistol on. I jerked it out, went boom, 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 boom. And I'm talking, y'all, hit him like 3 out of 5 shots. And my daddy's standing up there. He's across from me and he can't tell what I'm doing. He can just see the grass is on fire. And he's like, I couldn't figure out why the hell you was shooting. I said, there's a damn copperhead. I reckon I nearly set him on fire and he come out mad. But hell, not only did I get eat up with them damn yellow jackets, I down there got snake bit.
Yeah, you're at the point there where you're like, do I want to get stung by yellow jackets or snake bit?
Yeah. But y'all, I've had some horrible incidences with venomous shit. Thank God, by the grace of the good Lord, I hadn't been snake bit yet. But I got stung on the end of my bird finger by one of these scorpions, and that thing was it was a pretty big one. This thing was probably 3.5 inches long, but it stung me on the end of the finger. And y'all, that finger right there swelled up, looked like a hot dog been in the microwave for 45 minutes. It swelled up. It started splitting the skin. The skin got to busting open. And my hand, the swelling went all the way back to my wrist. My hand swelled. It looked like on Bugs Bunny, like where Elmer Fudd took his thumb and blew his hand up. That's the way my hand looked. And I called the emergency room. I said, "Hey, look, y'all, I need some help." It's like, what's your emergency? I said, "Well, look, I don't know if I need to come to the hospital or not." It's like, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "Well, I just got stung on the end of the finger by a scorpion." They said, "Are you allergic to bees?" I said, "No." They said, "Well, you should be okay." He said, "How bad's it swelling?" I said, "Well, my hand looks like a cartoon hand, but it hadn't went any further up than my wrist." She said, "Well, just watch it. And if it keeps traveling up," I said, "Yeah, you may already come up here." And they told me, said, "Take 2 Benadryl." And I said, "God dang, this thing is hurting, y'all." And look, I don't know if it was I figure it was probably from the extreme swelling so fast. It done some nerve damage. But y'all, that thing, I walked around like this for about an hour. I had to hold my hand up. If I got it lower in my heart, it felt like somebody was hitting it with a hammer every time my heart beat.
boy.
But y'all, that finger, that entire finger for about a year was numb. I could still move it, but I could have took a pair of scissors and cut it off and couldn't have felt it. It was like it had no feeling, but it finally, after about a year, the feeling came back. Wow. And then I got stung. If y'all got these big old European hornets, it's about big as your entire pinky finger.
You ever been stung before that? That's like a freaking pencil going in your arm, buddy.
What are those big old orange ones?
They hurt.
What are those big old orange? We got them down here in Tennessee. I bet they're that big and they're orange, and they just look at you pissed all the time.
We call them cicada killers here.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a bad habit of sticking a damn pin chewing on it like that. And I laid it down at work one day. I stuck that thing in my mouth and it had a damn fire ant on the end of it. And it stung me on the lip right there, son. And it looked like I was wearing a 50-cent piece knot in my mouth right there, dude. I don't do that anymore. God,
look, I guarantee you, anybody that lives in Alabama, odds are at some point in your life, you've been riding down the road or walking through a neighborhood and you see some random person mowing a yard or doing something outside, and you'll see them start screaming and running in circles, and you'll see them stripping their clothes off. You don't have to go, "Hey, I wonder what the hell's wrong with them." You're going, "Oh shit, they done got the fire ants." Look, it wouldn't matter if you was on the middle of a college football field game day. You'll be stripped down to nothing trying to get them off you, because anybody that don't have fire ants, that's a different world of hurt right there.
Oh man.
And I reckon
up there? No. You don't have them, do you, Jeffrey?
No,
y'all,
fire ants.
Look, if you get in fire ants, it's like a code amongst fire ants. The one won't bite you. You got to have a minimum of 100 on you before they all bite you at one time.
1, 2, 3, go! Yeah.
Yes. They'll eat you alive, and they'll be crawled up plumb to you.
You got a big pimple up on you, rising up on you.
Oh, odds are before that 100th one or so gets on you, the lead scout will not be up there about your twig and berries.
Oh boy.
They will tear you up, man.
Yes. Oh, they're horrible.
I hope nobody ever experience. I hope I never experienced that, but I've heard about people putting their campsites on top of them damn things.
Oh man,
putting their tents on top of them. Ooh.
There's people die from them.
Oh yeah. I was a lawyer here in Coleman, Alabama. I can't remember what his name was now. He died it's probably been 20 years ago. And what they'd figured out, they didn't really know what happened to him. He was on a tractor, an open cab tractor, and he was bush hogging. And they found him at the end of the field. He was slumped over the steering wheel. The tractor was stopped, sitting there running. He was slumped over the steering wheel and was dead. Well, they thought this guy was probably in his 60s. They first thought he had a heart attack, and they got to checking, and he'd bush hogged across a big, and y'all, these things will make a mound. That thing may be 20, 24 inches across and be knee high. And he'd ran over a big mound of those ants, and the bush hog had slung some up on him. And they said they found like 2 or 3 things from those fire ants on his neck. And he was real allergic to bees, but that's what got him. Those fire ants killed him.
Wow.
My fishing buddy's dad died from chiggers. That
Really?
That was brought home on clothes.
I've never heard of that.
Huh. Yeah, man. Sure did.
What, did he just have a reaction to it or what?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Sure did.
That's the first I've heard of that.
And they were brought home by his kids from hunting.
Huh.
Y'all, if a chigger was big as a June bug, 3 of them could eat an elephant.
Yeah,
Man,
you can't walk around our yard barefoot where we're at and not come back up to the house and have chigger bites all over your feet and you're itching for the next 2 weeks. And
I don't go out in the yard barefooted no more. Fire ants, no.
Yeah.
Fire ants will tear you up.
Well, at least you don't worry about when you go back to West Virginia, Pat.
They don't have them up there.
No, you don't have to worry about them up there.
Patrick, I can remember when people that I knew that lived in Tennessee, I'm talking about this would have been back in the 1990s. I mean, we'd had fire ants here pretty much most of my life. I was born in 74, but just people within 100 miles of me in Tennessee, they didn't have fire ants. Did not have them. They finally just kept going north and moving north and moving north.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have them up there yet, but they'll probably get up there soon.
No, don't say that. We don't want them.
I had a nest of them white-faced hornets one time. I was working on a fence line, and they come after me. They didn't get me. I got away from them, but I was trying to figure out, I'm like, how am I going to – I got to fix this fence right next to this nest hanging off this tree. How in the hell am I going to get rid of this? So, I went over to the truck and got the magical tool and loaded it with number 7 birdshot and went over there. And it's hard for them to find the nest when it's disintegrated. So they flew out of the nest to attack me, and I put one in the nest, and the nest exploded, and then they didn't know where to go. There's
what I want to know is
hornets flying around trying to find the nest.
How do they always know where to go? I mean, if a tractor takes it out, they still come to you.
Dude, look, I know people that shot hornet nests.
I think they put
my cousin shot one time. He got out of the truck and went to the hood, got on the hood of the truck. We're sitting in the truck. He got out on the hood of the truck and he shot a hornet's nest. And y'all, I guarantee he was 65, 70 yards. Shot it with a high-powered rifle. And when he shot it, it was like we watched the gun recoil. I looked at the hornet's nest, and I looked at him, and the gun went off. And I looked at the nest and looked back at him, and about the time it took me to do that, there's a hornet hit him in the face and stung him. It was like it went right back the way that bullet had come from. It flew back and popped him nearly in the eye.
Now, I've heard that wasps, and I don't know if hornets are the same way, but wasps have photographic memories that they can, if you're swatting at them and they get a good eye on you, they'll come back after you. But I don't know. That's pretty wild.
I know that bee master I used to hang around with. He'd tell me never wear perfume or cologne or nothing when you're around them.
Yeah, y'all. My grandpa, which was my Aunt Verby's daddy, when I was a kid, we had 4 chicken houses. And those chicken houses was 40 feet wide and 350 feet long. And the sidewalls of them, the way the eaves dripped off, wasn't but about 7 feet high. And he'd come up, and him and my granny would come and stay. Sometimes they'd come stay a week. My grandpa, he loved to fish. He'd hunt, but he loved to fish more than he hunted. He'd ask me, say, you want to go brim fishing? I was like, well, yeah. He said, well, let's go get us some bait. And in the summertime, y'all, we'd walk down the outside of those chicken houses, and I'd have a 5-gallon bucket. And I'd watch my grandpa. He'd walk up to, I'm talking about wasp nest, be that big. He'd ease his hand up there real slow, and he'd reach up above it. And he'd paint that wasp nest. And I'm talking about how wasps hanging on it. I've seen him pluck that wasp nest and lean it over the ground and kind of shake it, and the wasp would come off of it. He'd throw it in the bucket, and we'd have a bucket. It'd be 6 inches deep with nest. And what was doing would you take a little brim hook and you hook that larva in the nest and pull it out. But yeah, he'd catch him things barehanded. Never seen him get stung. But yeah, but now y'all like with me. Now, when I've got ate up with yellow jackets, it's because I basically made them homeless. I unearthed the whole nest and they didn't care what was there. But some of these guys that I've had that work with me, because, us working on air conditioner units, in the summertime, there'll be usually 3 out of 5 that you take a cover off of will have a wasp nest in it. I can take those covers off and the wasps will fog out and I'll just stand there. They'll fly all around me and do whatever. And them guys that's with me, they'd be 5, 6 feet away. They'll get eat up. They don't really bother me that bad. But I don't know. I mean, it's like if you stay calm and just don't move, they'll fly all around you and this and that, but they won't go after you so bad.
I like using them catawba worms. Y'all got a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is it?
A catawba worm. It grows on a catawba tree.
Okay.
There'll be a
big worm, man.
Yeah.
That thing will be, Chad, those catawba worms will be fatter than an ink pen. They'll be a big old fat worm. They'll be green. They'll be bigger than your pinky finger nearly.
Okay.
But you can find a catawba tree. A catawba tree's got a big coarse green leaves on them. That leaves will be big as both my hands. You just go over and find one of those catawba trees and take the leaves and pull the leaves up, look under them, and them worms will be on it. You just take and throw them in a bucket, carry them fishing.
If you can find some grubs work good too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Jeffrey, so you're talking about grubs, made me think, well, what's the update on River?
I haven't heard from him today. I know he was in the hospital for high blood pressure yesterday. I hadn't heard nothing today, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe he won't blow no gasket. He's got to get that blood pressure down. That's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I figured something was up with him because the last couple times we talked to him, you know how River normally is, and he was not his normal.
No,
all over the place self. So
no, it'd be like that old man said that time. He said, "Man, you get that blood pressure up, you'll mess around and have a heart stroke."
Heart stroke.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a fact.
Well, you guys had a hell of a 4th of July fireworks display there.
Man, we did. That thing lasted, I guess, close to 30 minutes, but it's professional shot show. The city pays a pile of money to have it done.
Didn't you say it was like $30,000 a year or something made?
It's way up, something like that they spend on those fireworks. But no, there's a licensed firework company comes out, licensed, bonded, insured. They can't look. We have to get the state fire marshal to sign off on the site where we can shoot it from because it's such a big show. We have to get all the documents signed and get it all certified and okayed. And if we don't, they won't even attempt to do the show because it's a professional shot show. You have to have the state fire marshal sign off on that it's okay.
Jerry, you remember when they did that at the high school?
What's that?
They used to do fireworks at the high school.
Yeah.
Years ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah. We live directly. So you see the poles back here. That's our deck for our master bedroom. And then right over those trees behind us is the fairgrounds. So that's where they do the fireworks from. So when they do the fireworks, we just sit up on the deck and they're basically launching them right over our house. It's kind of freaky, but it's a good show for sure.
Wow. I don't know if y'all saw it on the internet or not, but I saw yesterday where it was Lake Martin, which is not far out of Birmingham, Alabama. That's where one of the fireworks shows went awry and it blew up. They had a swim deck or something out on the lake, and everything went off at one time somehow and blew everybody up. Yeah, there was like 4 people injured, and they said they airlifted one guy out, said he had a bunch of 3rd-degree burns, and I don't know how, but I think from what I've read, it said it broke both his legs.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I don't know, but I mean, some of those big mortars, man, that's like standing on a grenade.
Man.
Oh, somewhere where lightning hit somebody's fireworks and blew up. It killed a few people. I don't know where it was at, but lightning came in, and hit their fireworks stash, and just
those
boom.
mortars can be bad, man. They knocked one over in the neighborhood I was in one time, and it hit a lady there and broke her leg just from hitting her.
We were
Plus,
having
it's like a cannon.
Huh?
Yeah.
We blew up about $3,000 in about 60 seconds because there was a tube blew up on the mortar launchers and showered the rest of them in sparks. The next thing you know, it looked like I had a Chinese fireworks factory explosion in the middle of the damn waterway. And there were people diving into the corn, diving behind bales, because we bailed that waterway, but those bales would sit there for a bit, and it was damp out, so they weren't quite catching when it would hit them.
Yeah.
So you just walk over there and dump a beer on top of it and put it out. And
wonder why they had an issue.
Just add alcohol.
We were wearing we had PPE on. We did have that, but one of my buddies, he had the truck windows open, and it flew in. One of the mortars flew through the window, singed his girlfriend's hair, and flew out the other window.
Golly!
Wow!
Damn!
Yeah,
y'all. There's a guy over here that grew up. He's a little older than me. He's about my older brother's ages, so he's probably 12, 13 years older than me. But they were having a Roman candle battles. They'd light on and let boom, boom, shoot each other.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Well, he lit one and it shot. It was like an 8-shot one, and like the first 5 went out normal. Well, somehow down in it messed up, and the last 3 went off at the same time, and it blew him out the back. No. And they hit him in the stomach and burnt through his t-shirt and scarred him up bad, burned him bad.
Oh, bad.
Yeah, he got 3 of those Roman candle balls into the belly.
Yeah, we used to sit about 30 feet apart and launch bottle rockets at each other.
Oh yeah,
because bottle rockets never go straight anyway; they go everywhere.
It's like an RPG. You don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they outlawed me one time from bottle rocket battle because I'd bought a bunch of them. It was about big rounds of $50 and about 5 inches long. Had the plastic cone on them.
Yeah.
Had the plastic cone. I said, "Look, all I'm doing is I'm shooting the bazooka version."
I didn't have enough beer out there for me to pee on the fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can see Chad on my TV right quick. How many folks y'all got in here with us?
Looks like 46 right now. It's a little slow.
46.
It was
the other night, Greg. We had 90-some people on that night owls.
Yeah, it was. We was pushing right at 100, and that was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
That was a good
nearly
show,
2 o'clock the time we got off there.
On Woodwalkers today.
What's that?
I like that guy you had on Woodwalkers today.
Yeah, Pat. At LBL.
Yeah, he won.
He won the Bigfoot. Yes, the big aluminum Bigfoot. He carried it back and was going to display it in his classroom.
Yeah.
Pat didn't win it? Oh, wow. Okay.
No, Abby didn't draw that number, I don't think.
Nah, we had to let a few people win.
Yeah. They didn't want to make it so obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
He's got some pretty good stories. I enjoyed listening to what I thought of it today.
Yeah. How cool was it him talking about taking his class, his senior class out there?
That's awesome.
Yep, that was great, man. See, I meant to ask him, but I got the emergency call. The next question I was going to ask him was if that's the only class he'd ever took, and if he was planning on taking any more. I wonder if he's going to do any more.
Yeah, he told us down there that he was going to take more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and some of his students have actually seen him too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him. I saw a couple different shows with him on Miguel's channel.
Now,
It's been like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So
Didn't he
Yeah.
have a channel or something?
he might have a channel.
He's on with somebody else, he said. I forget. The Grizz or
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
Did you get a birthday cake, Jeff?
I got some. What in the hell did you just send me, Jerry?
Sorry. Anyway.
But I got birthday cupcakes.
Birthday cupcakes.
You're special, dude.
Are they
You'll be in
chocolate,
that ice
vanilla?
cream.
Grizzly.
You'll be in that ice cream tonight.
Yeah.
That's not good having an unlimited supply of ice cream right here.
No, I don't know how you don't weigh 800 pounds.
It's too short to weigh that much.
No doubt.
It tastes
You kept
rolling everywhere.
with benchmark whiskey.
He would be. He'd be like He'd be like a double yolk egg with legs.
I feel that
Wasn't there a
marshmallow man?
Wasn't there a kid on the original Willy Wonka? They had to roll everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Louis, you got yourself a regular girlfriend there, Jeffrey.
Oh Lord, Philip.
Best.
Wait,
These older women are always chasing me around. I don't know what it is.
we was somewhere one time, and there was I can't remember where we was at. I can remember who said it. I ain't gonna say, but buddy of mine, we was somewhere, and there was a girl come by. This girl wasn't very old, but she's about 5 foot tall and 7 foot around her. He looked over and looked back at me. He said, "I wasn't sure if she was stand up walking or lay down rolling." I said, "Man, that's mean." He said, "Hell, I couldn't tell."
Like the people that always wear spandex that shouldn't wear spandex.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah, spandex. Newsflash, spandex does not make you skinny.
no, no. It's kind of like, yeah, never mind.
Everything looks normal until you get to about the waist, and then it does this.
Yeah, got the FOPA, industrial strength FOPA.
What was it? I think it was probably Jeff Foxworthy talked about one of those one time, and he said, my brother-in-law leans over and taps me on the shoulder and goes, "That looks like two Volkswagen bugs trying to pass each other on a gravel road."
Man, look, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you what Abby, she done good this evening. I coached her through it, but I'll tell you, I was saying in there, Sean said he got him ready to go get some ice cream. I'm gonna tell y'all the easiest, best dessert that you can make, and you can make it in about 30 minutes. And you'll be like, "Oh my God, where's this been my whole life?" And you can make it in the oven, super simple and easy. Abby went here today and made one of the best apple cobblers that I've ever put in my mouth.
Oh, man.
But look, y'all, it's easy. You can make it for less than about $8, and it's the easiest thing you'll ever make in your life. And look, you can make a blueberry one, you can make a cherry one, apple. Just go get the big fat can of the pie filling, like the apple, not just like sliced apples, but apple pie filling or blueberry pie filling or cherry pie filling, and get you a throwaway aluminum pan, one of the like, I guess like 8x10 or something.
Yeah.
It's a smaller aluminum pan. And y'all, all you got to do is spray like nonstick, the butter spray, just coat the pan. Open that filling up, dump it in there, scrape whatever's in the jar or in the can, and just level it out. It'll be about probably 2 inches thick on one of those pans, one of those big cans. And then get the very cheapest. I'm talking about the store brand, just a white cake mix, powdered cake mix. And when you get that pie filling of your choice, get it in the pan, rip open that bag of cake mix, Sprinkle it, just smooth it out on top. Just kind of level it out. You don't have to be smooth, but just just make it'll be probably an inch thick of the powdered cake mix. Don't mix nothing with it. Don't churn nothing. Just put the cake mix and kind of level it up, and then take you an entire stick of butter and cut it in little slices, about like the tablespoon slices, and just spread it out all over top of the cake mix. Which, if you like a lot of butter, do like I did. I'll let her put a stick and a half, but that's plenty. And when you get done with that,
it's not good unless you put all that butter in it.
well, look. So look, you've got the pie filling of your choice, a dry cake mix, and butter chunks, and then you get the little bitty jar. It's cinnamon and sugar. Take and just coat everything real heavy with cinnamon and sugar. Preheat your oven to 425. When you get that in there, slide it in the oven, give it about 25 minutes. And all you do is look in there at it. If it's starting to get golden brown, it's done. If it's not, leave it a few more minutes. Slide that sucker out of the oven. And y'all, I'm telling you, it'll be as good a cobbler as you've ever ate in your life. And you can do it. The prep time, if you got the stuff sitting there, you can have it ready to go in the oven in about 5-6 minutes. But yes, try that. And like I said, that's all there is to it. 1 can of pie filling, 1 powdered cake mix, some cinnamon, sugar, and butter, and that's it.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do love this show. Somebody just made a comment. Bigfoot Todd. Now this is a baking show. Hey, you don't know what you're going to get here. It doesn't matter.
You don't know what it's going to be.
That's right.
We're like broke Renaissance man. We know a whole lot about very little.
That's right. That's right.
Or a whole little about a very lot. I ain't sure.
We could cover baking, field dressing deer, Bigfoot.
No.
Bigfoot. We ain't even talked about Bigfoot. We ain't talked about dog man. Ain't talked about nothing like that.
We talk about important stuff, which is eating and not getting attacked by stuff.
There you go.
Not getting attacked by things.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd rather have happen: get kicked by a damn animal or get stung. I think I might rather get kicked.
That depends. I don't know.
Yeah, that don't feel too good.
Creepy. I'd rather deal with something I can see coming than
I had some friends. They had a little colt. I thought I'd go up there and pet him, and I grabbed him around the neck. That son of a bitch bit me right there in the chest.
Man,
I got bit on the nipple by one.
Oh my God! I'll never do that
I'll
again.
It's turned into a Jeff Foxworthy story.
Listen, guys, these are
Y'all,
animals. What are you giving them hugs and shit for? Come on.
I got attacked by an emu one time.
Oh boy, they
Listen,
can be downright evil.
You gotta tell it. You gotta tell it now.
hey,
Downright evil mean. Yep.
I
We
was
had two of them.
So
You
my
got the
neighbors
Australian hat, so give us the emu story.
Yeah. So my neighbors had gone out of town, and they asked me if I'd go over there and feed their steers and their birds and stuff. So they had a couple of emus and some steers out there, and they had peacocks and rabbits and all this other chickens. And I went in there and started putting the feed out to the steers, and one of those emus walked up behind me and picked me up by the back of the pants. Was trying to lift me off the ground, and I swung around and cold cocked that thing in the head, and it kind of did one of these and went back and was looking at me, and I'm like, all right, we're getting out of the pasture now.
I'd like to see you tangle with one of them kangaroos, dude. That'd be kind of interesting.
I don't know if I want to. I always love when River said, "Hold on, I got to get a kangaroo out of the yard."
I could just see Misty getting attacked by a cabbage worm. Hey, Jeff, you left out the part that you was at Bobby Possum Cod's heavy petting zoo.
Yeah, right.
One of those same steers that was in that pasture that I was going over there to help them load them because they were taking them to the butcher shop, and I told the guy that that owned the steers, he got them from us, but I was like, look, when I get in there and I get up to that gate, because he was probably about a 2,000-pound Holstein steer. And I said, you untie that gate and get it ready. Well, I get in there and he had tied a knot that he couldn't undo, and he was too cheap to cut the rope. So he was trying to untie it. And I'm standing on the back of this trailer with this thing, and he turns around and looks at me, and I'm like, oh. And I backpedaled off of the trailer and went for the board fence. And about the time my feet hit the top of that fence, his head hit the boards and sent me cartwheeling off of the damn fence.
Man, I'll tell you, people that never been around livestock have no clue how dangerous livestock can be.
Man.
No,
I'm telling you.
not at all.
People want to walk up to horses and pat on them, or cows and pat on them.
Or the
It goes back.
salt bison.
Yeah,
I've had
people.
my fill of horses.
Yeah, I've seen people hurt bad horses biting them.
You ain't kidding.
Well, look, I'm a suburb boy, and I've watched all those videos, and I'm stupid enough to do that crap.
Yeah, I've seen where somebody in Yellowstone got hammered by a buffalo.
Hey. Yep.
Hey, I don't know what would be worse, that or getting impaled by an elk. Because you ever seen the damn tips on an elk?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't plan on putting myself in a situation where anything's going to happen to me like that.
They just walk up to them buffalo like they're pets.
I watched one where some woman got attacked by an elk, and it took her pants off.
Yeah. Yeah, it never
were hanging from its antlers.
Yeah.
It amazes me every year the number of people that want to play bison bingo up there in Yellowstone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and bears too, man. Good Lord.
Yeah.
I actually got a selfie with a moose one time hunting up in Maine, but I kept the truck between me and it while I was getting the background picture. And as soon as he started to move, I just got back in the pickup.
Man, that's the thing about it, though. Till people see like one of those buffalo or bison, whatever you want to call them, till you see them up standing beside a regular car, people don't have a clue how big those things are. I mean, they're massive.
Yep.
I love how people will go in there and they'll get like within like 10 feet of it and turn around and go like this.
Yeah.
And then you see, all 2,000 pounds of that bison stand up and turn and come at them.
I mean, if you've ever seen a moose, it's like an elk on a lift kit. I mean, it's like literally, the things are huge, and
And I'll tell you, those things can hide. We'd be driving down the road in Maine, and the one day my guide stops the truck and he gets out. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'll be right back." He goes over there and he makes a cow call, and all you see is this one big shovel tip inside the branches of the tree, and that thing's back wouldn't have fit through the doorway in here. And that was a huge bull, and you wouldn't even know he was there.
Wow.
We've actually come around the corner up there running dogs in the truck or side by side, whatever, and come right up on top, and follow them down the trail. We actually had that happen last year, and we backed off of it because it was heading towards where one of the other guys was checking the bait station, and it ran right past the truck right into the bear bait while our guide was checking the camera, and he heard all this ruckus, and he turned around, and here's this moose just barreling through the bait site.
Yeah.
Then we had to go set the barrels and everything back up because he knocked everything over.
Mankind's not the smartest group. We're not we have those people that are part of us that want to get their pictures taken and, oh, look, it's, a buffalo or a moose. And until you've been around them and their temperament, don't do it.
It's like the people that get bears coming up to their house and they go, "Oh, I'm going to feed it."
Yeah.
And then the game commission ends up having to come in and remove them because they won't leave them alone, and then they start harassing the neighbors. I think there was a woman, I don't know if it was Colorado or somewhere probably about 10 years ago. She ended up getting killed by one of these damn black bears she was feeding because she, oh, I got to help them. They need food. They need this. They need that. And, well, it ended up costing her.
Man, I seen Phyllis said something about tipping cows. I've seen people go do that, but the cool thing with cows that we used to do was, Jeff, any of y'all's cows ever get the botfly larva in them?
No, not really. Maybe once in a while.
Man, it was like a treat for us if we ever got this is how we live. If we ever got a cow that had a big old botfly sore on it, man, you had to go find you a regular old Coca-Cola bottle, one of the glass ones, the short, like the 8-ounce or 12-ounce. Like wherever that, like that sore was right here, you put the mouth of that bottle on that, like push in on it and push it on that and take your hand and slap it. When you do that, that bot fly would go and squirt it out in that bottle. You have that worm in there wiggling around. Yeah, that was like
fun.
good times. I was like, oh, man, come out.
That does kind of sound fun.
Once in a while we'll get like warts or something, or they'll get an abscess we got to drain.
Yeah, I don't want to be around for none of that. I've seen
that poor veterinarian. Oh my God, we had an incident once that I seen what was happening, and I got the hell out of the way because it was a big old abscess, and he, sliced it so it would drain, and she had to push out the chute in the milking parlor, and it was on her hip, and when it hit that, pressurized it, he didn't move, and I did. I stepped to the side. I just went, whoop, and it painted the wall with him.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at what Bigfoot tied. Now we're talking about popping pimples.
Yeah.
Hey,
stick around. It gets
that poor
interesting.
vet had to throw all of his clothes away that he was wearing.
Man, look. This is a multi-subject show.
That's right.
Y'all talk about bees and ants and everything. I'm sitting here digging, scratching my legs and my arms.
What people don't understand, they're just seeing what our private chats is usually like. They're just getting a glimpse of it.
They're getting a very PG glimpse of that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I've been watching some of those the hoof where they go in and do the hooves on the cows.
Yeah, man, I watch them too.
We do it a couple times a year here.
That's crazy.
Every few months we got a guy that comes in, and the guy we got now is a younger guy. He's probably in his mid-20s. He can run some cows through that chute, and it's a hydraulic operated apparatus. It'll drive itself in there, and then he just steers it. And then he's got a bunch of gates that he hooks up, and he runs them up to the parlor, and we'll just run them through the parlor. And we usually do, when he comes, we'll do like 60 a day. And we just pick the ones that look like they need it, We won't do the whole herd at the same time. But, I mean, we use a lot of the really good foot bath stuff to keep the warts and everything off of them. So maybe once in a while he might get like an abscess or something in there. He's got to clear it out and tape it up and put a block on one hoof so that it levels it out. And then that block everything will just wear down. And then after a few days, we'll take them bandages off. But it's pretty interesting to watch them guys do it. This guy used a chipping wheel. If it's nothing he's got to use the hoof knife for, he'll just go out there and go file it all down, flip her back over, let her out. Next one comes in, flip them over, do the next one. It's their pedicure time.
Okay.
I just come from a guy's house that he bought and he has a horse barn, and he's tearing all that shit down, and he's got them big mats in the stalls. He's gonna
Yeah.
get rid of that, and he's got 20 acres of electric fence up, the rope type fence that he's wanting tore down. Somebody could use. I told him, I said, somebody could use that stuff, man. Those mats are probably 12 by 12.
Wow.
Big old half-inch thick for horses to stand on in a stall.
Well, if he's got that rope fence, he's gonna have a lot of fence posts there. I wonder if he's got fiberglass
Oh
posts
man,
or
he's
what.
got posts all around that. He wants it gone.
I'm always on Marketplace around here looking for fence posts because you can never have too many fence posts.
These are
Well, I tell you,
straight white poles.
Yeah, they're good for temporary fencing. You gotta, move stuff around.
I know one thing that you can learn you a lesson really quick, fast, in a double fast hurry is when you're messing with those fiberglass fence posts. After they've been out there for a little while, you better have some good gloves on. You better not grab it barehanded.
Oh yeah, you will end up with fiberglass in your hand. Thanks, Catherine.
You need to get old cat on.
You can tear yourself up. You get fiberglass in your hand.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
It hurts.
Jerry, I know you've got your share of fiberglass.
Yep.
Jerry,
Hey,
did
look
you get your
at
parts
here.
for your-
There's River.
I'm waiting on one more capacitor. Yep.
Are you?
Yep.
Yeah, Jerry's
Just got
RV
home.
decided to have a malfunction on his air conditioner.
No problem. We'll get it fixed.
Hey, River, good to see you, brother. Glad you're out.
Man.
Cooey River. Thanks, buddy.
Milky Bar kid. Yeah, it's good to see River out and about. That's good.
Yeah, I was eating with some of my relatives randomly showed up at the house and they're like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I got a previous engagement."
Did you have ribs? You was after ribs or something?
I had ribs.
Cool.
Ribs, cowboy beans,
Cowboy hats.
potatoes, all sorts of good stuff. I wish I had made up some of that Alabama white sauce for those ribs.
I was talking about that today, man. You need to
recipe
send me the recipe how to make that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get the recipe from you again because I had it saved somewhere. I think I lost it.
Look, if you'll scroll back to, go back to Woodwalker's, because look, y'all, I put the recipe down that day, and because I don't never measure anything, I just do it by sight. And but if you go back on Woodwalker's page and go back to September of last year, it's going to be in there somewhere around, because it was right there before Labor Day. But I posted on the Woodwalker Facebook page.
Okay.
I
think I remember seeing it.
Yep. Yeah, I think I have it saved in a screenshot on my phone somewhere in my files, but you can do whatever you want with that recipe. You don't have to do it exactly to the.
No, you can tweak it, y'all. And look,
yeah,
I've got to where a lot of times I had some paprika in it. I don't think I had paprika on the recipe, but paprika makes everything good. But yeah,
we want to try.
I saw Matt Verby said, "Tell them what we had." Y'all look. Thursday night, I cooked a bunch of Boston butts. I done 8 10-pound Boston butts, and I had a couple buddies wanting some, and then I kept 2 here for us to eat, and we done the rest of them for the fire department because the fire department guys was dealing with the parade and the fireworks show.
That stuff, didn't they, Greg?
Yeah, man, they ate the fire out of that barbecue. I reckon they ate all of 4 Boston butts at the fire department. But anyway, we wound up. I pulled those butts off in the morning. They had smoked about 12 and a half hours. And when my grill, I got it cleared off, I took a 10-pound bag of chicken leg quarters, and I think it was 14 big leg quarters. We put them on the grill, and then I put I'll take a big, like a turkey broaster pan, those aluminum throwaways, and I'll put like a head of cabbage. I'll slice it up, put the cabbage, and I'll put 2 big Vidalia onions and throw them in there, and I'll put 2 bags of the little baby carrots, and then I'll have I took a 10-pound bag of potatoes, and I'll quarter the potatoes and put them in there. Put you about 2 coffee cups full of water, and put a whole stick of butter, and I'll put like a palm full of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Coat it real good. Awesome. Yep. Put your aluminum foil over it, and I'll put it on that smoker and let it set for about 4 hours. And you talking about good, the potatoes, the vegetables and stuff. So I done that.
Man.
And I've done that chicken. So we had the smoked pulled pork butts. We had all that chicken, had the potatoes and stuff to go with it. Well, when I pulled that stuff off, I got 3 slabs of ribs, pork ribs, and they looked like they come off of a 400-pound hog. These things, y'all, they were massive. I mean, like massive. I put them on coated them with mustard, and I got a blend of seasoning that I do that's got, y'all, crushed red pepper, cayenne pepper, black pepper, garlic, paprika, oregano, parsley.
I think you're making Chad hungry over there.
Yeah. Well, look, y'all, I mean, I've got a rub, but I coated them with mustard, yellow mustard, loaded the seasoning down real thick. I put them on the hickory smoke, and I left them for about 2.5 hours just on the grate. Well, then I went back out there, and I took aluminum foil, big sheets of aluminum foil, peeled them off and put them on that foil and folded it up around them. And I put a little over a half of I had 2 beers that somebody had left in my refrigerator because I don't even drink beer, but luckily they were in there. So I split on 3 ribs, 2 beers. So it was a little over half a beer each. And I sealed them up good and tight. I put them back on the smoker and left them 1.5 hours for that beer to steam up through them. Well, then I went back out there and opened them back up, and that way the beer could, kind of evaporate on down. But I coated them with some real good barbecue sauce, red barbecue sauce on top, left them 30 minutes and let it caramelize that barbecue sauce. Y'all, when I went to get them off of there, I was going to get them with some tongs, and I slid the tongs up long ways. And when I went to lift them, the ribs just come apart. Well, I thought, I'll just grab a bone. Well, I grab a bone, and when I go to pick it up, the bone would pull out and didn't even have nothing. It looked like it was pressure washed.
Man.
I had to cradle them to get them into the pan. But yeah, that's what we wound up. And actually, that's what we ate tonight too. Was we ate more ribs and barbecue and chicken and all the vegetables. But Verby she brought a looked like a wash tub full of homemade banana pudding. And she makes a corn dip salad or something. She brought it.
I feel like Greg's gonna have to roll me out of there with a wheelbarrow when I come to visit.
Man, I know if Miss Verby's making something, it's going to be good.
Oh,
He's
yes.
gonna have to dump me out into the car when it's time to leave because I don't know if I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Greg knows I eat anyway, man. He cooked deer meat. I eat that all night long.
Oh.
No, yes.
What was it you were doing last night when I called you? You were doing biscuits and.
Oh yeah, I done. I took some of that pulled pork. If you've never had smoked, sure enough, hickory smoked pulled pork. Cook you some Grand's biscuits. Pull them biscuits out, pop them open, throw you a little bit of butter, slam her shut, and get you some of that pulled pork ready. Open it up, throw that in a slice of American cheese. Ooh. Eat you a pulled pork cheese biscuit. Oh, it'll change your life.
Oh boy, it sounds good.
sounds real good.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, that
that's good for cramps too, man.
Yes, it
potassium,
is.
If you're low on potassium, mustard will knock the cramps out.
Yeah, Verby said that.
Pickle juice a lot for cramps.
Yeah,
that's a seed from the sower.
Ken's taking an insulin shot from drool.
I'll try. Hey, look.
Greg's gonna have to start a cooking class or something.
Y'all look. Hey, I grew up watching public TV. We didn't have but 3 channels growing up, and I was glued to it watching Justin Wilson back in the day.
I was gonna say, had to be the Cajun. Yep.
Yeah,
that's all we had.
That and
to watch
look, y'all.
She put so much butter in there that The whole thing will just slide across the table.
And it actually went off at midnight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not kidding. We had he's going to Mount Crawford to get some witchy grubs and drop my look there. River's gonna trade his blood pressure with grubs. Woo. I just have to have high blood pressure, y'all. I'm telling you, I don't think I could eat none of them damn grubs.
No.
Yeah.
Look, I still have nightmares. I asked River one night, we was having live chat. I said, how you eat them things? He said, oh, brother, said you just lean your head back, stick your tongue out, and set them on, and they just crawl right down your throat. I'm like, not mine, they won't.
Oh, God, no.
Nope, ain't happening.
No, sir.
River's a survivalist, son. We could put River, if we could get him on that Naked and Afraid, he'd win that like 12 seasons in a row. They'd finally just pay him to not come back home.
That's because he's an Aboriginal, man. This guy's,
That's what I'm saying. Yep. Hey, man, I mean, go out in the woods barefooted and nothing on but his loincloth or something and not have nothing. And just go stay for 14 days and stroll back home and he gain weight while he's gone.
I don't know if you guys, what was that movie with back in the 80s? The Australian guys,
Crocodile Dundee.
Remember his Aboriginal buddy that
Yes.
always wore the loincloth, but he was like into all the modern things? That's probably River.
Yes.
That's still one of my favorites.
Wonder how his documentary did.
I don't know. I kept hoping that he's going to get it. He'll let us know when they get that documentary done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. He got to get himself back in good health now. I've been worried about him. Been thinking about him, praying for him. Hey, I'm like Jeff. I knew last time we talked to him a week or so back, I could tell then he didn't feel good. But
Craig, do you guys do crabs down there?
Jeff, about the only thing I do with crabs is I'll get the stuffed crab that I can deep fry and get the crab patties. But now when I'm down on the Gulf, when Dad had his charter boat, we'd go catch a lot of shrimp, and then all the crabs we caught, I didn't really mess with them because it's too aggravating.
I prefer eating shrimp. I'm getting lazy when it comes to crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Picking them after a while.
Phyllis and Don, they go crabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put out crab.
We used to crab a lot. It was always fun when the crab would get loose in the boat, and you'd have to corner him and get him back in the basket.
Yeah. We'd get a lot of soft shell crabs down there.
Oh man.
At certain times of year.
I love me a good soft shell crab.
I never could eat them. I don't know why.
My girlfriend doesn't like them either. She calls them spider sandwiches.
Yeah, I can't do it. I ain't gonna eat nothing look like a damn fried alien.
Someone stole some of Phyllis's crab traps.
Yeah, I seen the other day she posted something about they stole 4 of her traps.
Wow.
When I do it with my buddies, he'd use the traps, but he also ran trot lines.
Yeah.
And he got tired of pulling them in by hand, so he bought one of those line pullers.
Yeah.
Little motorized line puller. That thing was awesome. You just run down the line, it would pull it in. You reach down there, scoop them up, and put them in the basket.
Yeah. Y'all ate so many. I ate some. Me and my uncle. Me and my uncle ate so many shrimp one night down there. There's a seafood place called Mikey's down there at Gulf Shores. We ate so many shrimp each that night I woke up in the wee hours of the morning, like 3 o'clock, y'all, and I just felt weird. And I'm talking about felt just nauseated. And I went in there and went to the bathroom in Dad's house that he had at the beach. I went in there and I turned the light on and looked in the mirror. I'm not kidding you. It looked like somebody had stained me from head to toe with iodine. My skin was red. My face, it looked like I had the worst sunburn I'd ever had. I went and woke Dad up. I said, something's wrong. He said, what is it? I said, turn your light on in here. And he looked at me. He said, my God, what'd you do? I said, I don't know. I woke up like this. And I reckon I'd about got iodine poisoning. But y'all, I'd ate like, well, I'll tell you what, me and my uncle split 8 pounds of steamed shrimp, Cajun steamed shrimp, and we ate pretty much, I out ate him. So I know I ate over 4 pounds of shrimp.
Oh man.
That's easy to do,
Wow.
actually. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah,
Once you
but
start, it's
back
hard to
when,
stop.
Jerry, remember when they used to do the shrimp, the endless shrimp at Red Lobster?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
man.
Oh yeah,
We were there every week. Every week.
and
Hey,
now
I
Red Lobster closed up here. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
that when I.
Yeah.
Jeff, I embarrassed my wife and another couple of friends of ours. We went to Red Lobster, I guess the last time that I ate the endless shrimp. And I'd done ate like 7 or 8 different dishes of shrimp. And they come back around to the table, and as she, she's still like, "Can I get y'all anything else? Can I get y'all anything else?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want another scampi." Well, she looks at
Oh
Wanda,
yeah,
and
shrimp.
Wanda goes, "No, I'm done." I said, "No, you ain't." I said, "She wants a garlic grill." And then my buddy Tim goes, "No, I'm done." I said, "No, he wants a scampi." And he looked at his wife, is like, "What do you want?" I said, "She wants some fried shrimp." I was that way I could order 4 of them at a time.
Oh,
That's
great.
right.
Y'all,
Yep.
I ordered that twice. And my wife and my buddy's wife, they was like hide their head. Y'all look, I can put a shrimp away like I'm in one of them eating contests.
Shrimp
I
are
love
easy to eat. They're not hard to eat.
Shrimp and
No.
crab legs. I love crab legs.
Crab
Hey,
leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
I like crab legs, but damn, they can get in a lot of work.
Yeah. They got to be cooked just right too. I mean, if they're not cooked right, then they are definitely a lot of work. If they're cooked good, you can break the
We steam
shell
them
off.
right here. Yep.
Yep.
Or you can bake them. You can actually bake them.
When we go to some places, I won't even get steak unless I know they know how to cook it.
Yeah.
Because most places that are supposed to be steak houses, they can't even cook it to your order. It's always either too cooked or, well, I don't think there's too. I can eat it rare, but I don't want it too rare.
Jeff, I've ate some steaks that I think a good veterinarian could have got them well.
Uh-huh. I like those kind.
Yeah, but hey, y'all ever cook like a real good ribeye or a T-bone, cook it in a cast iron skillet?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Man, if you know how to get you some sure enough Cajun blackening seasoning and cook your ribeye with plenty of butter and do it in a cast iron skillet, it'll be as good a steak as you've ever ate.
Yeah.
Everything in cast iron's good.
Yes.
Man.
I'm surprised more people don't use cast iron.
I keep
Too lazy to
cook
clean it
them
up.
in my oven, stove all the time, dude. I cook mine all the time in cast iron.
Yep. That's really about all I cook in.
Yeah.
That's about all Erica cooks in cast iron. We went on the way home from
you guys went to
Alabama.
that
We stopped at the lodge place. Yeah, get some more cast iron.
Man, I got a hell of a
Yes,
bacon press the other day, man. A good one.
Yeah.
It's cast iron. It's
Chad, if y'all, I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but I know where you're talking about. That's only about 2 hours from me, and it's up there at South Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Yep.
And it's the lodge factory. And look, dude, if you go in there, look around over there to the part of the factory where they sell that stuff.
Yeah.
And you can buy the seconds. It'll be just a little bitty something like it might have a little chip or a ding or something like around a rim. And a lot of that stuff's like half price.
Yeah.
oh heck.
Yes, sir.
Which is a big deal. That's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's but yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That lodge plants.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I guess it'd be about 2 hours or maybe a little less from here.
I'd say, I don't know from where we were at Holland's. Yeah, it was about that for sure.
Yeah. They
Justin over there, he said, what was it? bacon grease, cooking the steaks in bacon grease. Oh yeah.
Oh, bacon grease is like its own. It's its own magic potion.
Yeah.
That's that bacon press, man. That's a good one. It's cast iron.
Yep, we got
Yeah.
one of those. Heck
That
yeah.
is a dandy, man.
Pat seen a bunch of my cast iron when he was down here.
Absolutely. And the food's good that comes out of it, too.
Yeah, they I don't know.
I
They
kept hearing that Pat kept sneaking back to the refrigerator for more backstrap.
yeah, that I know there's 75 or 80 cast iron pieces here, and then I've got a bunch more at home. I know I've got way over 100 pieces of cast iron.
See what Ken said? If you don't use cast iron, you need to get baptized.
Hey, it's healthy.
That's
Hey, cast iron's the way to go. Throw that Teflon shit and all that other stuff away. Cast
You
iron.
dang right. I will not cook in Teflon. I don't want Teflon nowhere around what I'm eating.
And I love cooking on those Blackstone griddles.
Anything that can peel off, scratch off your skillet or whatever, get rid of that stuff.
Yeah.
Keep your cast iron's the way to go.
You're basically eating paint chips.
Yeah.
Pretty much
cleaning
all
cast
we use
iron
here.
too.
We don't use grills anymore. It's either like pellet smokers and flat top griddles. That's pretty much it for cooking outside.
Yeah. Jeff, that smoker that I've got, I've used it so much, which I built it. Like I said, I used to work welding shop.
Yeah.
But I built this smoker and just kind of threw it together out of scrap stuff. It was 125 gallons.
Here I need to resurrect that we built.
Yeah. So, see, this one was a 125 gallon tank. And man, I can get my meat ready to go on, and I can build a fire. And no joke, I use about 5 pounds of charcoal, and then put hickory wood on top of it, and I light it, let it get to burning good, and I stack the meat on. I'll shut the lid, and I go back there and check the fire and shut the door, and I can set the air damper. And I set the air damper about the width of a cigarette butt, like you could stick it in way. So it's, like not even a quarter of an inch, just a little gap in the air door. And like the other night, I shut it up. I didn't go back out there till 12 hours later. Didn't look at it. Didn't do nothing. I don't touch it. Just walk away, go in the house, go to sleep, whatever. And I don't have to move it. I don't turn it. I don't wrap nothing. It cooks all by itself.
Wow.
But yeah,
We've caught the stack on ours on fire doing pigs before.
Really.
Yeah.
How you clean your cast iron, Greg? That's what I want to hear. After
Well,
or something.
It depends on how bad. Look, if you get some cast iron that's like really old and it's got a real thick cake on it of the old crust seasoning stuff that's collected for years, best thing to do is go outside and just build you a fire out of some wood, like a campfire, and just set it over on top of it and walk off. Go back the next day and get it, and you just wipe it out, and then all I do is I'll take and coat it with like cooking oil or bacon grease, put it in like a 300-degree oven, let it sit in there for about an hour, take it out, let it cool off, wipe it out good. We'll just take a rag and some water and wash it, then oil it back, dry it, and then oil it back down and let it ride through again.
Yep.
That stuff will be black.
Yep.
But yeah, you can burn rust. You can have one that's really bad rusty. Stick it on that campfire, and that thing will get nearly glowing red, and it'll burn all that off of it.
Absolutely.
I've cleaned up old cast iron before, and I actually started using real coarse, like a kosher salt.
Yes, sir. You can use salt. Sure can.
It works good. It cleans.
You can use like olive oil or coat that thing and then throw salt on there and just bake it in the oven that way for, like Greg said, an hour. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Jerry, I'll tell you.
Don't use canola or any of that other stuff.
No. That's crap.
Yeah.
Jerry, about a mile up the road from the man cave right here, where the main highway goes through, there's kind of like a pull off, and it's just sand. It's just sand that's come out of the ground. It's like a little sand pit. I went by there if I had a bunch. Like sometimes I bought cast iron. That'd be 5 or 6 pieces. I'd buy them at a flea market or at a yard sale, and they'd just be horrible. I went up there and got sand, just scoop up sand in a bucket and come back and take sand and water and take a rag and just take that sand and just keep washing them with that sand.
Yep.
It'll clean them up.
Okay.
Talking about cast iron.
No. I don't even use soap in a cast iron. No way.
No, don't.
No.
I've seen people do that, and I'm like, what in the hell are you doing?
No.
I'll tell you what you can do. If you do clean one with soap, like soapy water, the next thing you cook in it, you'll have a damn hint of that soap taste to it.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
I don't never
That's
use
the thing
soap
I
in a
love
cast
about
iron.
using cast iron. You don't have to use anything; you just clean it out and.
mhm.
Yep. The best thing that I've ever found when you get done cooking, turn it off, let it cool down because you damn sure don't want to run cold water in a hot cast iron skillet.
No. Nope.
But let it cool off. Go to the dadgum Dollar General and the little balls of like stainless steel,
Yep.
you know, the little curly looking, those
Yep.
scrubbers. Just get that. Get you 2 or 3, save them, keep them. One of them will last forever. But that stainless steel scrubber, just run cold water in that cast iron and take that scrubber and wipe it around it and then rinse it out. That thing will be clean as it can be.
You can
It's
get those
I've got
scrubbers
them here. Yep.
if you want to spend the money. You can get those at the cast iron place too.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about he's talking about the chainmail thing.
Yeah, it looks like chainmail.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Not
what you're talking
that.
about.
He's talking about the scrubbers.
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah.
you use
Yeah, I just go to the dollar store. That's where I got mine.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
It works. I was curious because I know people that wash them in a single water in soap, like
No.
regular dishwater. And I told
No,
him, I said, "Man, that is no way. Oh, we've been doing this for years." But okay.
Yeah, no, there's no need in it because that, like I said, I'll rinse mine out or put water in it. Now, if it's got like something that's stuck, I'll run hot tap water and wring it around and then rinse it again.
Yeah.
I'll set it right back on the stove and turn it on for
Yes.
a minute and let it dry it off. And then I'll take some little bit of bacon grease. I'll cut the heat off, just pour a little bacon grease, take a paper towel, and just wipe it around. And that thing will be just as clean as it can be.
I always keep mine coated, Hillary. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, Hillary.
Yeah, and the good thing about if you needed any scrubbers or anything, there's so many Dollar Generals around here that.
Oh my gosh, they're around every corner anymore. He's right. Every time
We have
you
a
come
dollar
around, they build
here. Here we have a Dollar General in between every church. So church, Dollar General, church, Dollar General.
Gary, from here up to my girlfriend's house in Cochranville, I think I drive past at least 10 of them.
No doubt.
Hey, look,
They're building
The
a
little-
brand new one about a mile from me now.
the little town where I live here, we have upgraded to a Dollar General market. So we're
Ooh.
uptown.
We have those
Wow.
too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got
We have
that.
those too.
Prepare for your population to jump up, Greg.
Yes, sir, son. Our little town is at least 800 folks, man.
Wow. We don't even have that. We've got 2,000. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that. But you know, look, the
$100.
closest Walmart from where I live is about 19 miles.
Same
And
here.
there's about 4 Dollar Generals between here and there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's
Same
Dollar
here.
Generals next to all of our grocery stores. I usually end up in the Dollar General before I end up at the grocery.
Yep.
Yep.
True
Oh, I
story.
love the South.
I got a Dollar General 5 miles north and 3 miles to the south.
Y'all, look, I just wish I'd had the knowledge and the money about 20 years ago to have bought a bunch of stock in Dollar General.
No kidding.
Yeah. They're building like that. They just built another one, Jeff, up on 74.
I don't
When
even
you get into
yeah.
Airville. Brand
I don't
new.
even think they build them. If you see a Dollar General truck, I think it's like a transformer. They park it. And there's
Yeah.
a Dollar General.
Yeah, but look at Chad. It was rumored that if the wind caught a Dollar General bag and blew it over 3 miles and it hit the ground, a Dollar General would sprout out of the ground.
And Greg, I would believe that too.
Yeah.
And Dollar Tree is not the same, Gary.
No,
No.
Dollar Tree and what's the other store it's in?
That's
Dollar Tree.
Family
Some-
Dollar.
Family Dollar.
Yeah.
Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar General.
That's funny.
You got to go
Yeah.
with the original.
Hey, none of them got something for $1. That's it's
No.
Yeah.
Not
Something they
anymore.
ain't selling. They put it on a special shelf. It's weird.
You can get everything you need at Dollar General. You ain't got to go anywhere else.
Yeah, if we ain't got it, you don't need it.
Well, and then the Dollar General store. Yeah,
That's where you got your Halloween costume.
that's right.
Look, they got everything.
He got a trash can for his last Halloween costume.
You guys
Yeah.
remember? I was
That's
on.
pretty good.
I was
Yeah.
on Greg's trash. Yeah, Greg Night Owls. I think it was.
Yeah.
Piece
Hey,
of
that
garbage.
was a great picture of you and your mother together, Erica.
Which picture?
It was on
Leanne-
Facebook.
Leanne went through and liked pictures.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah.
thank you.
I get down Super Egg down here. I'm gonna carry him and go get him a tattoo.
Super egg.
I'll do it.
I think
We
Jeff's
don't-
all talk. He's afraid it's going to hurt him.
That's little Enos, right? That's what you said.
Yeah,
Big
well,
Enos.
Got any
little
at
Enos.
all? You got any
Yeah.
tattoos? Jeff?
Not yet,
What?
but I think there's going to be an old line cryptids tattoo
Oh,
coming.
man.
I'm telling you, I'm let down.
I think you need a milk with like our cat with udders and you're milking it or
Yeah.
something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Represent, brother.
Or
As long as it ain't a bull and he's milking it.
Like a shake weight. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, I think we probably could have gone to one of them Dollar Generals and found Blaylock a beard for.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mike's got a beard going on.
Yeah,
got
he
one
has. I'm
now.
proud of him.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to have
You
to
can do
buy
this
him
one,
one
Jeff.
there.
Do this one
Yeah.
right here, Jeff.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I saw
Oh,
it
my God.
earlier.
Yeah, man. I'd like to see that.
I
Yeah,
still
you
laugh
need-
about when we did the 50th episode and Jerry put me on the zip line with the cowboy hat in the background.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
DA on. Yeah.
DA and Robbie standing
Where's
there.
that at? I got to find that real quick. Yeah.
That's
They yeah, you do need to get you a old line cryptid and maybe a beard and booger tattoo. Hey,
there
I've
you
got
go.
a night owl. I've got a night owl and I've got a woodwalker tattoo.
When you just got that new one, was it a spear or was it a broadhead?
It's like a flint arrowhead spear point coming.
Mhm.
Looks like it's coming out of my shoulder. From
Yeah.
my back. Looks like somebody heaved a spear and it hit me in the back. Came out the front. Yeah,
Well, Pat's got one of the coolest booger tattoos I think I've ever seen.
yeah.
I got that one not long ago. Hell, I can't turn it around there. But anyway, it's a narrow one.
Your arm doesn't move that way, Patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I love Greg's.
Every now and then I've had it turned that way.
I love Greg's old Indian, the booger.
Oh,
I
my
forget
TP.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's here on my wrist. It looks like a Native American Indian teepee with smoke coming out of it, and it looks just like the teepees. And then I've got like in California, what they call the hairy man tattoo,
Hairy man.
where it's like its eyes is streaking. But yeah, I got a hairy man on the. Hang on a minute, let's see. I don't know if I can get it where y'all can see it or not. Can
Oh,
you
yeah,
see
I
it right there?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. I told the guy, I said, man, I said, this is going to sound weird, but I want a teepee. He's like, what? I said, I want a native teepee, but I don't want like a deer or or something like that or a turtle on it. I said, I want it to look like this hairy man. I showed him that. He said, I can do that. Yeah, I've got that. Then I've got this big arrowhead on my arm. It's got a Bigfoot on it. And I got that big Bigfoot on my shoulder.
Yep.
And I got one right here. So yeah, I've got several Bigfoot tattoos.
And Patrick, not telling you short, yours is awesome too. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
Pat's
didn't
is
mean to.
cool.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
His is cool.
Jeffrey.
I like that arrowhead he got the other day was awesome too.
Now we just need to get Patrick sleeved.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I got my sleeves like Johnny Cash's Cadillac, son. One piece at a time.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Mhm.
Yep. Mine's all different, but I'll give anybody a word of advice. If you're going to go get ink, look at some of the work that artist has done, because not everybody's a tattoo artist.
No.
Some people are just people that do tattoos.
What the problem you run into, Greg, and I'm sure you'll admit, is a lot of people can do the flash art, but they can't do anything outside of the little stupid flash. I'm not being mean about that, but that's...
Yeah, I made a mistake going to a biker show one time and getting a tattoo. It didn't come out too well.
I'm just wondering how Jeff could get him an O-line Cryptid tramp stamp.
And that could be part of the new symbol. Have Jeff's wearing a bikini bottom or something
I'm
like
not
that.
getting one of those face tattoos like some people get. I don't understand that. That's like...
He can get, look, he can say O-line Cryptids, where we get down in the trenches. Can be right. Man.
Yep. His initiation.
Oh,
I love
Jerry will still be tattoo free.
Get you an I love grandma.
Hey, you get one of them tattoos down here that my guy does. It looks good. Jerry be wanting one.
Well, you use the same guy for most of what you've had done, right?
That guy's done everything that I've got except the first tattoo I got there was a woman in Birmingham done it, and it's a cross that's made out. It looks like 3 nails. You know, one big nail down and like one this way and one the other way, and it's right here. That was the first thing I got, and then that guy done everything else I've got. I've got 3 on my legs, got 2 big ones on my chest, and my shoulders, from the top of my shoulders all the way around to my wrist, both arms. So, I mean, I'd have to count them up, but, I mean, I guess I probably got 30-something tattoos.
So, Jeff, what's keeping you from getting a tattoo?
I've just never, there's nothing keeping me from it. I just got to find one that I like.
That's a smart thing. You don't want, I mean, I've got a couple tattoos on my body that I got when I was young, but the thing
I'm
I tell
not
everybody...
going to get like a tattoo of my ex-girlfriend and then, you know, 10 months down the road, I end up, you know, with another girlfriend. And...
Well, you never, okay, first of all, never put names on your body.
That's
ever.
right.
Ever.
Unless it's like your kids or something.
Yeah.
That I've got Colt and Abby's name right here. That's the only names I got.
Yeah, I put my kids' names on mine.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put anybody else.
My girlfriend will be all right with it. She's got
maybe I love grandma or something.
See, pretty much everything I've got on my right arm, everything's spiritual, everything's Christian. I've got a big Knights Crusader. I've got like Bible verses. Everything on this whole arm is Christian. Well, I've got, I don't know if you can see it, but see that lightning bolt? Can y'all see it?
Mm-hmm.
That, of course, that's because I've been hit twice and lived through it. I guess the Lord protected me, so I've got a big lightning bolt that streaks down the back. But
you've got a 357 there somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, it's. I don't know if you can see it. You know, see that one. And then you see the Browning deer rifle right there.
Yeah,
right here. Yeah.
I just bought a Colt 357.
What do you want for it?
I just bought it.
Which one did
he got himself
I got
one
the
of
Grizzly.
the Grizzly?
Yeah.
How many food coupons did that cost you?
Quite a few.
I bet. How long a barrel is it?
4.5 inch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No. Hell, it's only money, man. Can't take it with you.
Look at that.
For you, Jeff.
The bearded egg. And
He
Phyllis,
must be going backwards. He's going backwards because his beard's out front.
Yeah.
Phyllis, I've heard people say that a lot. I've had many friends that regretted them. I think anybody that gets a tattoo, if you're really into it, you're not going to regret what you get. I have a tattoo that I got that like a newbie did, and it's not the greatest looking tattoo, but it reminded me of a time in my life. You know, it's
okay. Chad, 1,000% what you just said. Everything that I have has got a meaning. Everything that I've got has got a meaning. The reason I got it. I wasn't one of the guys that just walked by and seen a damn SpongeBob SquarePants over there and said, "Ooh, let's get that." No,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Everything that I've got has got a meaning to me.
absolutely.
There's the bacon.
There we go.
I'm glad you made him clothed though, Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
I'll tell you, this last heat wave we had, you could have fried bacon outside.
Yeah.
I just want to look.
More coming.
The thing I just noticed on that sure was a big giant piece of bacon, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, Catherine. Those are actually old photos or AI stuff I did way back when I first started. Actually, I was talking to Chad about how you make him AI photos and stuff.
You know what I'm a little concerned about? I don't see Roger in here.
He was. I saw somebody say hi to him. I never saw his name, but he was
say,
here.
He was at LBL this weekend, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, and Spencer's probably in bed, wrapped up with his whoopee right now.
Yeah.
Man,
I was.
His internet was terrible, man.
Yeah.
I kept waiting when we done the Woodwalkers Day. I kept waiting to see Jeff in the show. I was going to tell everybody it was his birthday. Him and I noticed Amanda. It was her birthday too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I was running all over the place, so I didn't have time to tune in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
River talking.
of course, you know, Kumbo could have done his own show by himself.
Well, yeah. That River's talking about they call eggs bum nuts. Look, they still can't say aluminum. That aluminium.
Aluminium, right? Aluminium.
Riley's grandma, she can't say idea. It's ideal. That's a good
Yeah.
ideal.
Or idea. I hear
Yeah.
idea a lot too.
Well,
I have no idea.
She
Mark
gets on me for saying
Green's
Wolf.
been wearing on me because I'm starting to call Windows Winders now. So
Winders.
No. Stop yourself.
I caught
Those are
myself
Windows.
saying it today. I was like, "Damn it! How?"
It's not too late.
I have
My
to
problem
force
is
my.
when I go, if I spend any more than like a few days in a different state or something, I start talking like them. And then by the time I leave,
When I was playing hockey, if I was around Canadians enough, it was a lot of A's. How's it going, eh? You know, hey, how's it going? Yep.
I sold tickets for an indoor truck and tractor pull up here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and we had a lot of Canadian fans, pullers, and stuff that buy tickets to call. And I'm telling you, A was the vocabulary word.
Yep.
It's going to be a good show, eh? Yeah, we usually try to put on a good show, eh? Eh? And I actually started saying it back to him. I actually started
it
saying
could
it
also be Amish.
Oh my Lord! Don't start.
There for a while, I got to suspecting that Jeff was actually an Amish that run off at during Rumspringer and never went back.
Rumspringer.
That's awesome. Oh God.
Actually,
Well,
kind of looks like a little Amish feller there, don't he, with that hat?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Shave that mustache off
That
of him.
one thing. What's that one?
Yeah.
thing? Jones or something.
And that's the
Yep,
thing that
yeah,
always
you
gets
do
me
a
about the
black
Amish. They shave the mustache off. I'm like, I can't have a beard without a mustache. It's just
They get married. I guess
Hey.
they can't. That's
Hey, I got no mustache. This is my Amish goatee.
Hey, look what Catherine.
There you go. Man.
That would be Chad.
Hell yeah. I love these people down here. This
I
is
mean,
awesome.
Chad's wearing overalls. He's
Yeah.
No, see
and
exactly.
talking about going
You
deer
wear that
hunting.
in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, I love
I'm
those
just
bits,
like a
man.
thug up north, but down here.
Hey, you know, 2 buttons you can be out of them.
That's right.
Oh God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Hey,
nope. Oh,
hey, Jeff, happy birthday.
Thanks, Erica.
You're welcome.
He's finally old enough to go buy beer now, legally.
No kidding.
Run, Springer.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's see.
36, man. Golly, that was a long time ago.
Hey,
Yeah.
Greg, how's your son
Yeah.
now?
20.
she was
he's doing all right. I got to call him a little bit, but I went and doctored on him and worked daddy magic, and he's good. I got him. I done some we'll call it ditch medicine on him and got him took care of. You just got to think outside the box.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah.
What happened to him? You get sunburnt?
Oh yeah, he got scorched.
Oh,
Like I said, as redheaded as he is, and he's got the same color to his skin as like brand new cotton, and he looked like a struck match. Yeah, the melatonin or whatever you call it in his skin is
Melanin.
took a
Melanin.
hop. Yeah, melanin in his skin. He don't have any.
I don't
He's
think
got
he has
zero-
melatonin.
melanin. He's got like 0%. Zero.
Dang.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, he's
That's what it looks like if I take my boots off and my socks. I'm like
Story
white
time.
down here.
yeah. You look like Jeff, or you like when you take your shirt off and look at your arms? Do you look like a pickup truck? Somebody put the wrong colored door on it.
Pretty much. You can see my tan lines from outer space.
Yeah, we got this brown truck, but it's got a white door.
Was that
It-
plaid?
You know,
Plaid, like a
the cab's white, and the doors and the the bedsides are all brown, and then
Oh,
Yeah.
I have different tan lines on my feet. I make fun of it, but I don't compare myself to a vehicle. That's awesome.
and it used to be I couldn't even get like any
Yeah.
tan lines on my legs or anything because I was so white until I started wearing shorts all the time. There she is.
yeah, I was giving
Thank you,
Chad a
Mary.
little hard time over the being in the sun there.
Yes, you were, Patrick. And I'm very tan.
Yeah, he's
You
But-
just see
but
some of
here-
these old-
yeah.
Yeah, you look better, bud.
Yeah. Some of these old dairy farmers I knew when they finally retired and they started doing stuff with the family, that they started wearing shorts, and one of the kids was like, "Are you sure that's Grandpa?"
Hey,
Wow.
It's like the bottom half of him was all white.
There was
Look,
an era of people that didn't wear shorts. I mean, they didn't. It was
Yeah, my
it
grandfather,
was long
my
Oh,
hair.
yeah,
grandfather
people now
always
don't
wore
wear 'em.
jeans or coveralls. Didn't matter how hot it was. He'd have a button-up shirt and a pair of bib overalls, and I'm like, good God.
Well, I posted the other day on Facebook, the amount of skin cancer there is now compared to the old days. The old days, they didn't wear shorts. Most of them wore
Yeah.
long pants out in the fields. They wore hats. They wore long jeans or bib overalls. But now you got people out there, all the time wearing shorts and, have bald
Yeah.
heads like me, not wearing hats, getting skin cancer. That and
shit up. Y'all, my legs are so white first time I wear shorts every summer, and they don't get very dark. Look, it's like I feel like I ought to be handing out people around me those snow glasses, the ones that got the little slits because the snow's
Yes.
so white. Yeah, I mean, I had a buddy of mine ask me one day. He said, "Damn, them your legs? Are you riding a damn chicken?"
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh,
mine
God.
used to be like Snow White.
Yeah, I used to wear shorts. I don't wear them anymore.
I used to go to the tanning bed, and now I just have a guilty conscience about it, and I won't go. I'm like, I'm gonna get skin cancer, so I won't
I
go.
see a lot of guys around here that even in this heat, they wear long pants and the nice breathable long sleeve shirts.
I'm going to
No
say this
problem
right
to
now.
do that, bud.
Hey, I'm not being racial here, but look what the Mexicans do. They're smart. When they work on roofs, when they do all that stuff, they're wearing long sleeves, hoods. They're wearing everything.
Yeah.
And that's obviously the way to go.
I mean, it protects your skin, but also I think I think that it helps with not ventilating necessarily, but keeping you cooler. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm getting that old man skin now. You know, when you pinch
I got you, Patrick.
there for about 2 minutes before it moves.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, mine gets all dried and cracked, and then my fingers are like got like craters in them.
Chad, you also got to remember though, it's like that day I was delivering gas to this place. There was a Hispanic family was gathering eggs for these people. And I looked up and there was a little Hispanic girl walking from the chicken farm back up to their house they was living in. And I was pumping propane into the tank, and that little girl walked up and she went in. She was about probably 100 feet from me. And they had about a 20-foot by 50-foot garden spot. And it was nothing but tomatoes and peppers. That's it. Just rows of tomatoes and rows of peppers. And they was jalapeno peppers in there. Them things looked like it was 5 inches long and big around a silver dollar. That little girl would come out of the driveway and barefooted and walked up through those plants. And I kept like cutting my eye, like, what is she doing? And I watched that little girl reach over and she pulled one of them jalapenos. That thing was nearly black. Big one. And then got her another one. And by the time she got up there and walked by me and I spoke to her, I said, hey, honey. And she just nodded her head and walked on by. She was eating them jalapenos like she had a pop.
Yeah.
She was eating them things, not nothing direct. She was just munching, crunching them jalapeno peppers up, seeds and all. I'd been laying in the yard crying.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't hang.
I was hunting in Texas one time, and our guide I think his mom was Mexican, and his dad might have been Texan, and he was about 6'4" Mexican. I mean, big old guy.
What?
So he was a Texan.
Sit there and eat a bowl of them damn things, and not even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My son's girlfriend's like that. She's Mexican and she can eat that shit like candy.
I thought you were going to say she was 6'4".
No.
If I tried to eat that, I'd have a stomach ulcer as big as Jeff's head.
I'm with you, Greg. I love spicy
It wouldn't even
food.
get to my stomach.
Yeah, I love it. It don't like me.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
When I went to that festival a couple weeks ago, we stopped at this pickle place up there and got these pickles that were flavored with scorpion peppers. And if you put them on a sandwich, it's great. But if you tried eating one of them damn things by itself in the jar,
Yeah. My friends
my mom always complained that I never brought anything home that was hot enough for her, and she was like, damn.
They had some peanut brittle and they brought it out on a tray and they said it's warm and they handed it to me and I thought, well, you know, it just got out of the oven, peanut brittle, man. I bit into that. They put ghost pepper in that.
Wow.
Man, I
That's
slobbered for about 10 minutes, cried, and damn, finally they give me some milk. But, my God, man.
My neighbors were growing peppers over here, and I think it was them ghost peppers or something, and that sucker, I about wanted to kill him. He didn't tell me what it was. He said, here's some peppers, and I bit into that thing, and I chewed up the seeds, and my buddy Tanner walks in, and he goes, what in the hell did you just eat? I said, well, Cookie gave me one of them peppers. He said, you better go over there and get some damn sour cream or some milk or something.
Pat, what you was talking about right there, getting something and absolutely setting you on fire for a while, like burning you up.
Yeah.
If you got enough time to do it, grab you a little cup, put you a couple ounces of water in it, and get you about a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Throw in there and stir it around, and get it in your mouth and swish it around and swallow it. It's like extinguishes it right then.
It kills that acid.
Oh, they hee-hawed around. They were getting a laugh out of that.
Yep. That's the best thing you can do is baking soda.
I ate one of them peppers one time. It was one of those hot ones. and it was so hot that like there might have been steam shooting out of my ears. There was. It was like one of the. It was a different kind of burn.
Cartoon.
Like it felt like it was going to set your head on fire.
Yeah, that
I
know,
take that
Daddy.
hot stuff, man.
we had those greenhouses when I was growing up, and I don't remember what those was that Daddy grew. I don't think it was. It may have been the Carolina Reapers. I can't remember. But what he would do is Daddy would make a big pot of deer chili, and Daddy made really good chili. But he got to where we'll spice it up. He'd take one pot of that pepper, and by the time the chili get done, he'd take a pot and just lay it on top of it and let it kind of simmer. And he'd scoop it out and then throw it away and then stir the pot. And hell, it'd be so damn hot you couldn't. Your eyes would water eating it.
Yeah.
But he digged around one day and he messed around. He left that pepper in there a little too long and went to get it out. The damn thing had busted and got some of them seeds in that damn thing. We had to throw the whole pot of chili away. There wasn't nobody in the house. And look, we eat hot food. They wasn't none of us could even try to eat the chili. We threw the whole pot of chili away and made another pot.
Oh,
I did that one time with just habaneros. Ate, it was only probably about that big. Took the bite, took the whole thing. But the problem was I got one of the seeds stuck in my teeth. So the rest of the day I was trying to use my tongue to pop that seed out of there. Next day, I had a big old blister on my tongue because of that seed.
Yeah. Golly, dude.
Some of that stuff just too hot.
mhm.
I like. You ever had pepper jelly, Greg?
Yeah.
Love pepper
Yeah.
jelly.
Yeah, it's
When
pretty
my
good.
mom
Like
used
that.
to make it, you couldn't be in the kitchen when she was cooking it because the fumes from that damn.
Oh yeah.
You'd have every window on the bottom level of the house open, the fan sucking the air out.
I got a buddy. We was giving him hell because when we said something about I was doing all that, the barbecue for the fire department, he told the fire chief, he said, tell him to go easy on that dang seasoning. Well, my buddy told me that what he said. I said, well, yeah, that's just him. He said, you do the seasoning. He said, we ain't never had a complaint over the seasoning you put on your pork. I said, well, damn, look, his taste palate, I believe a damn marshmallow, a bare marshmallow would be too spicy for him. He can't do nothing.
Shit, that's funny.
Oh man, but yeah, I got the best compliments I ever had on my barbecue. Carried some barbecues up to the guys that was setting up the fireworks. It was some big black guys from Birmingham had come up and set it all up. Carried them some barbecues and they wolfed them down. And carried them some more and wolfed them down. And it's like, man, I don't know where'd y'all get this barbecue? They said, well, the guy in the fire department done it. Said, man, that's the best barbecue I ever had. I told him, I said, look, I might be a white boy, but I don't shy away from seasoning. But there's a lot of white people don't use. I mean, it's just ingrained in us, I guess. A lot of them just, they can't even handle nothing but salt and a little bit of black pepper.
There's more to life than that.
Oh,
My
you ain't
girlfriend
kidding.
tells me I don't use enough seasoning. I said, well, I didn't want to overdo it for you. She's like, well, just put the seasoning on it.
I think I could nearly snort a line of paprika. Boy, that stuff makes the world good.
Mhm.
I tell you, I love putting garlic in everything.
Oh yeah, garlic goes in cornflakes, Jeff.
I'll agree with that 100%.
We started selling some seasonings in the market for people doing their steaks and stuff. And
yeah,
there's a place down here on the shore called Shore Smoke, and they got some great local stuff. It's pretty good. Have you tried it, Jerry?
I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Sorry. Ice cream.
Oh, look at it.
Yeah.
We're all talking hot stuff. Gary's eating the cold stuff.
I wish
all
Gary had some of that. I wish he had about a half a bowl of that apple cobbler that Abby made a while ago to go with that ice cream.
Man, that sounds good, man.
I got some peach pie. I got some peach pie over here in the fridge. My girlfriend got me.
Wow.
Hey, Greg,
Okay.
you're gonna have to tell Abby that next get together, she's gonna have to make that.
Look, Chad, I've made that same stuff, and you can make it in those cast iron Dutch ovens over a campfire, and it works great.
Ooh.
All you do is shovel some coals out and put you just a little layer of coals. Set the Dutch oven with the legs, set it over it, and then put some coals on the top. And man,
Sounds.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I am a mulatto, I reckon. I mean, seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm a mixed up because I know I've got two different tribes of Indian blood. I don't think
one friend of mine's got a bunch of Mexicans that do landscaping work for him, and when he goes to eat dinner with them, he's like sweating by the time he's done because they put peppers in everything. Most of these guys are from Guatemala, and they don't cook anything without spice in it.
I know one thing, y'all. Like my wife, she's mulatto too. I know she's part 2 Indian tribe because I think it's probably going. If I research it, it's got to be like a Wolf clan, and then just regular some other like Cherokee because she's either sitting on her butt growling or she's on the warpath.
God.
Oh my God. Mary, are you Hungarian? Because I had my best friend when I was growing up, his grandmother was Hungarian. She used to make chicken paprikash. So I'm just curious if you've ever had that.
I think she said her husband's Hungarian.
Okay, so maybe.
So speaking of paprika, Greg, do you have a preference between paprika or smoked paprika?
Either or, they're both great. I just do. I like paprika on about anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's and cumin. I put cumin in about everything.
Yeah, that's really good.
Well, I always put cumin in the chili.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's like my chili when I'm making.
Doing chili. Chili is all. I love making chili.
Yeah, I don't never use the prepackaged chili mixes. I just put my own chili powder and cumin and garlic and peppers and stuff. I make it up myself.
I think I eat enough
you
garlic that
shoving that
if
in
a
there,
vampire tried to eat me, it would probably die.
That looks good, bud. What
Yeah,
kind of
that-
cream you eating? I see you wasn't letting nothing get away.
Oh, it's vanilla and peanut butter.
Man,
With extra peanut butter put in there.
Jerry, there ain't nothing much better than a peanut butter milkshake.
No, I tell you,
Oh
I had one
my
the other
God.
day.
I just had one, what, last night?
So weird.
Oh my God, it was
Had
amazing.
one out in Gettysburg on Thursday. Big one. It was nice.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Peanut butter milkshake. I like them to use extra crunchy peanut butter.
That would be good, yeah.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
try
know
that.
about all that, but I'm not a huge fan of milkshakes, but the best ones I've ever had have been peanut butter. And I'm not a huge peanut butter fan. Like,
Oh my
that's what
Lord.
I'm saying. I don't know exactly what they use to put into
There is
it.
no life without peanut butter.
Oh, but oh
Yeah.
my God, those are the best milkshakes I've ever had.
Well, in
If
case
you
you're
got-
wondering, she
If
is
you got
American.
a jar of peanut
so-
butter and a spoon, you have a meal.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's
look,
too. But if you're going for a milkshake, I'm usually pretty bland. But peanut butter, that's just the way to go.
Man, I love a peanut butter and tomato sandwich. Oh my God.
whoa. A what?
Never had that,
What
Peanut
the F
butter
is
and
that?
tomato
but I would try
sandwich.
that.
Hell yeah.
That must be some of that from the hollers of West Virginia.
Yeah,
I was
man.
going to say definitely from West Virginia.
Peanut
That
butter
sounds
and
like somebody
tomato.
something a pregnant woman would want.
What else goes
That's-
on it, Patrick?
That sounds
Peanut
like
butter
it.
and tomato.
That's it.
That
Was it
sounds
Elvis
like
with the peanut butter and
Is this
banana
after hitting
sandwich?
your vape pen for a while?
Man,
that's like next level struggle food.
I'm telling you, man.
That's creative struggle food.
You know,
Yeah.
Went to the
I'll
store
tell you
once a month.
one thing I made a sandwich out of one time because I was pretty much out of everything and I wanted to make something. Mayonnaise
Well-
and Cheetos.
Oh,
All right.
It's not
I
bad.
shit you not.
Look,
I have a
Y'all-
feeling Greg's going to get you here.
y'all, I worked with 2 old boys. They were brothers. Back when I was still in high school, these old guys worked down here. Me and Alan worked for his uncle building wooden rafters. And these two brothers, they'd come in there every Monday. We had a break room and had a refrigerator, and they'd bring stuff to make sandwiches for them for lunch all week. And I've seen these guys make these, I don't know how many times. And I'd sit over there and just shake my head, and I'd get thinking about it, and I nearly want to puke. And y'all, I'm strong stomach to anybody's ever been. But these two morons would take 2 pieces of white bread, and they'd put a layer of mayonnaise on there that a grasshopper would have got stuck in. That mayonnaise would be that thick. They'd put mayonnaise on one piece, and they'd put peanut butter on the other one.
Oh wow!
Then they'd put a layer of jelly on top of the one with the peanut butter, and they'd put salt and pepper.
No.
And then I've seen them. They'd take a can of the Louisiana hot sauce, fish steak, sardines, and they'd take and put a layer of sardines on top of that mayonnaise, and then they'd fill that thing, fold it over, and sit there and munch it. But it was a peanut butter jelly mayonnaise sardine sandwich.
Oh no!
Until they ended up in the bathroom.
Were they bachelors? And
there's
Man.
no excuse for that.
were they bachelors and that's all they had in the house and that's what they got?
No. Both of them was married and had kids, but they'd eat that shit and they'd go looking at you and go to grinning. That one old boy had about 4 teeth gone. He'd grin. You'd see a big water, look like a piece of sardine dangling, and it just sure. Yeah. Nope. Now, I like mayonnaise, I like sardines, I like peanut butter and jelly, but I don't want all that shit rolled up together. Nope.
That is disgusting.
I'm with Brenda. Brenda's puking over here. She's
Yeah.
Oh,
No way.
Well, this started out as a pretty good cooking show.
yeah.
Cooking show.
That's one of the worst sandwiches I've ever even seen somebody put together. But y'all, they would eat that. They would eat the same sandwich at least twice a week. Like if they had it on Monday, they'd have it on Thursday. They'd split it up. It may not be 2 days in a row, but I've seen them. Ain't no telling how many dozens of them sandwiches I've seen them boys make.
There's
Yeah.
people in that
Y'all
club.
like liver mush?
No.
What?
Liver
Liver mush? Yeah, you never had a liver mush sandwich?
That
I
is
don't think so.
Patrick, that's a no.
Oh man.
I don't even know if I know what
Are you
that
gonna
is.
try to
Man.
talk me into it? I mean, that's horrible.
I just it's common here in the Carolinas.
Oh.
What is it? Just like is it like a pate out of liver or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, you like it?
It's okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, liver mush.
Where is it?
Take your word for it.
They usually have it for breakfast.
Well, now look,
Biscuit.
I could eat chicken livers every day. Fried chicken livers, grilled chicken livers.
Man, I like gizzards.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Gizzards and hearts. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
You boil them.
yeah, but
and then
I never
fry 'em.
seen no liver mush. So I ain't never heard
Yeah,
of that.
man. Yeah, liver
Greg,
mush.
do you guys have ramps down there?
No,
Ramps are good.
I've heard of them around
Yeah.
here.
What is it?
Yeah, they're good.
only thing we got ramps is something load a 4-wheeler.
Well,
Yeah,
ramps.
ramps are good.
There was a couple guys that my ex's dad used to work with when he worked out this plant in Frederick, and they would bring ramps with them every day, and they'd heat them up in the microwave, and it drove everybody else in the plant nuts because then the damn microwave smelled like ramps.
Wow.
Hey,
Yep.
I'll tell you, Jeff, like down here, we used to, the main way to hunt deer down here up to about 20 years ago was we'd run them with dogs. And man, we'd be off, it'd be cold, god dang, be, 15 degrees, 20 degrees, and you're just riding around in the truck trying to head dogs off. And there's no telling how many cans of beanie weenies or Vienna sausages or potted meat that I've ate straight off of a manifold on a truck. You'd pop the hood. That stuff be so cold, it'd be congealed, like the oil in there with the Vienna sausage. Yeah, we'd pop the hood on the truck, and up on top of the intake around the manifold, we'd wedge a can of Viennas in there and just crack the top where it wouldn't explode when it got so hot. You'd be driving around, give it about 20 minutes to pull over and get out there, and it'd be so hot you couldn't hardly hold it.
Oh my gosh, that's
I just
awesome.
have to say this. Liver, no.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
cooked a lot of baked
Wow.
potatoes on the boilers.
My uncle used to cook chicken in aluminum foil
man.
on the manifold of his boat while he was fishing.
hmm
Well, the best I ever did was put leftover pizza on the front of my kayak.
Hey,
Hey,
sun's
them
hot.
inmates at the prison used to cook on them radiator steam heaters all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, but that was good.
No, it
though,
was
'cause
great. It
Then
was
it
phenomenal.
got to be a great temperature by the time we were ready to eat it.
Okay, so I have to ask, what are ramps?
They're
It's
like
a wild
a
onion.
garlic type onion plant that grows in the spring.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
very
Okay.
good. They're very good.
I've never
It
had
tastes
any
better
of that.
than it smells. I will
Yeah.
tell you that much.
Now
Why would
raw,
you
they're
put that in the
strong.
microwave?
That's not a good idea.
Well, that may be what
But-
y'all are talking about. Maybe what we call wild onions.
If you
Yeah.
eat them raw, they're very strong. But if you cook them, it takes that out of it,
Yeah.
and they're very good.
Yeah, when we were turkey hunting in West Virginia, we dug a bunch of them.
They usually have big dinners, ramp
Oh
dinners.
yeah, ramp
Yeah, man.
festivals. West Virginia has a
Yeah.
ramp festival every year.
Oh wow.
My
Hillary
buddy
knows
Josh
about
would go out
ramps.
there to
Yeah.
Pocahontas every year, Pat, and they'd go out there in the mountains and dig probably like he'd come home with 15, 20 gallon bags of them things.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, they're very good. You get pick them and morels.
Yeah, I've never had those.
Morels?
Yeah, I've never had them.
Oh
I've heard of those
man,
too. but-
those are super
Yeah.
good.
Bud and I were talking about morels. That's like one of his favorite things to do is go pick morels.
Yeah, man.
I just don't trust it for myself.
We're those
you know?
people that like mushrooms, sound good, sound cool. But if I ain't buying it in a store, I'm sure the hell not going to
Well-
pick it up out of the woods.
Yeah, that's me.
Morels, they have a particular look to them. You can't hardly distinguish. I mean, they don't look like a normal mushroom.
There have been a few guys that gotten attacked by boogers digging morels.
They
Those
sell
could
them
say
for like
morels.
$60-$80 a pound. If you find them that many.
Yeah, well, apparently boogers like morel mushrooms too for some reason.
Wow.
They're delicious.
I
Yeah.
remember when I lived in Ohio, I would hear of guys going hunting for morels.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was a thing every year.
Yeah,
that's
every
what Bud
spring.
does it every year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that-
good.
If any of y'all ever eat beef tongue,
No, but I was going to ask that earlier. Yee.
it's good. If it's fixed right, my God, it's good.
Mountain oysters
Yeah.
are good too. If they're
Yeah,
cooked
there
right.
you go.
Oh,
look,
Roger's
there's
here.
Yeah,
what-
I'm just
what
going. I'll just wait on a different cut.
Yeah, I hear you.
What made us as humans try beef tongue or
Pig's feet.
pig's feet or mountain oysters? What?
Dude,
It was all out of
I feel-
necessity, most likely.
yeah,
I can think of
that's
a lot.
called struggle. I figured the Great Depression evolved a lot of stuff too. People to eat. But hey, I mean, used to people didn't waste anything. They did not waste nothing. Which I mean,
Squirrel
odds are if you
brains
really
all kinds
knew
of
what
stuff.
all was in a regular hot dog, we probably wouldn't want to eat hot dogs.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
Yep.
Screw hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yep,
We've seen
that's
shows
lips
on that.
and buttholes.
You ever watch them how they make McDonald's French fries? You probably not eat them again either.
Yeah, we don't eat
Ooh,
those.
I've seen that.
They spray
Yeah.
them with something, and they have to put them in a building for 7 days.
That's a lot of
just,
gas off.
to get the whatever they spray on it off of it
Oh my.
before they even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm surprised they're that picky.
Roger said they would have eaten the squeal of a pig if they could have caught it.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
When did Roger get in here? Roger, you've been
Just
missing
now.
out.
He just
2 minutes
appeared.
ago.
He's
Yeah.
probably been in his power nap.
Rocky Mountain oysters, yum. Come on, Brenda.
Yeah, but I will say the Great Depression, that's a great way. I'm sure, Greg, that's how a lot of it started, at least.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
I do remember in 2020 going to the grocery store when the shelves were empty, and about all you saw in the meat refrigerated areas was like pig's feet or whatever, or like the claws of chicken or whatever. And it was like, what is that?
Ken's right, oxtail.
Pickle.
Yeah,
I've heard of oxtail.
Oxtail is good.
You
Is
can
it
make
the
some
actual
really
tail
good
of an ox?
stews and stuff with an oxtail.
Is it the actual tail of an ox?
Yes.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But they do the same thing with beef.
The tail of an ox will be big around as a Coke can. Yeah, it's an ox
the
tail.
tail off of the cows. That section of the cow, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that y'all, that was talking about that cow tongue. My grandmother, which is Aunt Verby's mother, the first time I ever ate cow tongue, she had there was a processing plant up here, which that's about 70 miles from where my grandparents lived. But my grandpa was up here, and Daddy had a cow processed. And my grandpa told the guy at the processor, he said, "Now I want to save that tongue." And he carried that, and y'all, that tongue was long, not like massive long, and
We sell them
about
out
that
here.
big.
I've got some that are.
Yes, but look, my grandmother took that thing and washed it real good in the sink and scrubbed it like with a nylon brush, scrubbed it. And she had a big pot. She cut it in like a couple of sections about that long. And she had a pot of salty water boiling. And she dropped that tongue over in it and let it like parboil for, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. And she took that thing out and got it back over to the sink, and she run some cool water on it. And all that rough texture on that tongue, she just took a knife and got it started, and she'd pull it. And it would just pull off like pulling tape off of something. And once she pulled that, like the, I guess, skin of that tongue, it looked like the prettiest tenderloin you'd ever seen. Real pink, light colored meat. And she took and sliced it and then battered it and fried it. Y'all, that was next level good. Yep. But yeah, that, you can get a lot of these Hispanic places, you get like tongue tacos and everything else. That stuff's good, y'all.
Well, in
shell.
Oxtail, in some cultures, they braise it and they cook all sorts of stuff out of it.
River's gonna get in trouble. Sue's gonna have a voodoo doll. That's why he's in the hospital.
Now we know where that high blood pressure is coming from.
What she's probably got the River voodoo doll just squeezing it. That's why his blood pressure shot up.
Beef tongue.
But there's a look. All these stores around here, they've got anywhere from a pint jar to a gallon jar of the pickled pig's feet. You'll see people in there buying them all the time. They'll pop them out and just eat on them. Like, nope, I'm okay.
I don't understand that.
I'm not. Nope.
But I've never had one, but I don't want one. So
name it something different if you want me to eat it. Don't,
right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I wouldn't eat it. I'm just saying I'm not that hungry right now.
Close enough. Nasty.
Oh.
No.
Wow. For not having a topic tonight, this has been a great
show.
Right.
2.5 hours, 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Hey, look, I mean,
keep going. I'll be the one falling asleep here shortly instead of Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad he's made it through his birthday and he's still up.
Yeah.
Well, hell, Greg, what time were you and I up till talking this morning?
It had to be close to 4 your time. I was talking away and he was answering, and next thing I know, I hear.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I guess we're done. I would click.
I stayed on there from about midnight until 3 or 4, so
He held in there a long time. I give him credit.
He fell asleep one night with a cigar in his mouth and snoring.
Oh, everybody was.
We watched him for an hour.
Yeah, there was people making phone calls. There were making sure he was okay.
Trying to wake him up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Pat watched him for about an hour where we finally decided the cigar had to be out, so we felt comfortable. Yeah, we was plotting on how we was gonna get the fire department to his house when he fell over and caught himself on fire.
Roger was saying that he's had the Rocky Mountain oysters. Apparently, he likes them.
Well, I figured that from Roger.
Did they have a camp out at LBL or something?
Well, it was just a bunch of people up there for the 4th of July weekend, I guess, just normal people camping, not Bigfooters. I know way he talked down Colson Hollow. He said that, like when you go into Colson Hollow, you go through that big field and then you go over by where we all were.
Right.
He said that whole big field was full
of people.
He said it was full of people with tents and whatever, and said there wasn't but about 3 or 4 over there where we all camped. Said everybody was out there in the big field.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
But the way Roger talked, that place was full up. I said, if there's that many people there, don't you know that dadgum, that toilet down there, that vault toilet was prime. You got a one holder down there for 800 people. It'd be terrible.
Oh my goodness.
There'd be some methane coming out of that baby.
Boy, howdy.
Don't nobody smoke within a 50-yard area of the toilet.
There's one toilet down there.
Yeah. Lucky to have that. It's one of them old vault toilets. Yeah, that's U.S. Forestry Service at their finest. Got a big campground and one shitter.
Wow.
I want to know when Misty's going to build her stripper pole for the next meet and greet.
I don't know. I've chuckled about that all week.
Did you guys get the one I sent you? The one the guy had built one off his hitch?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that. Oh, mate. You know, when we was down there at the LBL, that I don't remember exactly what day it was when we had that last meet and greet. That guy come whooping up in there, and that Green Forest Service truck had a big water tank, like a 200-gallon water tank on the back. It had a big long hose and a pressure washer. He unspoled the hose, reached in there and cranked the washer, throwed the door open on that vault toilet, stepped in there and went. I reckon he pressure washed the ceiling, the floors, everything. That's how he cleaned it. He cleaned that toilet with a damn pressure washer.
Well, they got to come in and clean that thing out, don't they?
They got me at Holland's, man, when I went in there. I grabbed that roll of toilet paper and I went to tear me a piece, and that shit stretched 3 feet before it snapped.
Really?
Yeah. They put a fake roll of toilet
Really?
paper in there.
What?
Man, I pulled it was some kind of prank toilet paper. I didn't know it though, man. I pulled on it. It was like duct tape, man. It finally
Oh my
snapped off.
god.
It must have been that John Wayne toilet
And then
paper.
it was like sandpaper.
Was this the last time?
No, time before.
Okay.
First time.
Must have been that John Wayne paper.
Hell, you sat in it. You was sitting downhill anyway. But man, yeah, I pulled that paper out of there and it would not break. Man, I was tugging on that stuff.
That's horrible.
Jeff, you was asking about those vault toilets. The way those things are designed, it's supposed to have enough live bacteria or stuff in it that it's supposed to basically eat itself. Now, I'm sure if they have a big weekend like they just had, they may have to send a pump truck down there. But most of those vault toilets are just self-sustaining. And they'll just, you know what I'm saying? The stuff will actually eat itself up. It'll just kind of it's kind of a compost is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, we went to Michaud. They had those, like that in there too. We were camping above Gettysburg. They had a couple of those. There's no electric or nothing in there, but they're pretty nice bathrooms for what they were.
Yeah.
Roger, I probably filled the one at Holland's to the brim.
Oh man.
I mean,
Huh.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to get off here.
45.
I gotta.
Yeah, I'm about ready to get off here myself, man. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Yep.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Yep.
Greg
Maybe you'll
was
have about.
actually talking. Greg was talking to me this morning when it turned into my birthday.
Yeah, I was. I was the first person to tell him happy birthday this morning.
Chad and me got one coming up in a couple months.
that's right.
When is y'all's?
September
20
21st.
Yeah, 21st.
Oh wow, so y'all's the same day then.
Yep.
Yep. I'll
That's
be
cool.
67.
Wow, that's better than 76.
Yeah, a lot better.
Just
I don't want to think about 70.
Misty went for a ride in the porta potty at Hollins.
Look, hey, yeah, last September when we was at Hollins, Misty, we was sitting there by my camper under my little awning thing, and Misty said something about. She said, "I'm gonna have to go down here and go to the toilet." You know, we had those porta johns down there, and Billy being Billy, he's like, "Well, you ain't going by yourself." She's like, "I'll be okay." He said, "No, Billy walked with her. He walked her down there, and she went in the toilet. And look, y'all, it was probably 50 yards from where we were at. Billy walked her down there. She went in the toilet, and Billy walked back up where we was. And he was standing about 25 feet from where we were sitting, and he was standing there, and he was just kind of like listening back where Misty was, and he glanced back that way. Well, what he was going to do is when she come out, he was going to walk back down there and walk her back. And because this is like probably around midnight, I'm thinking, but I know it was way dark. Misty comes back up, kind of pops out of the dark. She's like, "All right, which one of y'all smart asses or whatever was down there shaking the toilet?" And it's like, "What? I know it was one of y'all." She's like, "Billy, was it you?" It's like, "I've been up here." She's like, it's like, "No, look, Billy walked down there with you, and Billy's been back up here this whole time. He's been right there. I've been looking at him." She's like, "Well, somebody was shaking the porta john." It's like, "What?" She said, "Yeah." She said it was like somebody trying to prank her and was shaking the thing with her in there trying to use it. And look, y'all, they wasn't nobody down there, but it shook it while she talked. It shook it a good bit while she was in the toilet.
Wow.
And it was definitely none of us, and I know it wasn't nobody else. But yeah, it something was shaking the porta john while she was in there.
Huh.
Never knew about that place.
Between that and something trying to unzip Pat's tent,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was weird. I think I might have that on. My recorder might have picked that up. I don't know. I hadn't listened to it,
Really
but I had one out.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to check it. I just hate sitting there listening for hours and hours of stuff. I listen to myself snoring for about 6 hours.
There you go.
Learn how to use Audacity or that other one.
Well, I heard a whoop like at 3 a.m. I was in Missouri, and it was a plain whoop. It woke me up dead. But I had to listen to about 6 hours of me snoring before I even got to that part of it.
Wow.
Like, golly, man. But anyway, Jeffrey,
Well, y'all,
have a good night, buddy.
I really got to roll. I appreciate y'all letting me come on here and aggravate Jeff.
Appreciate you coming on. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, man. Appreciate it.
I enjoyed it, guys, as always. But I'll see y'all later. I don't know how many still out there. I don't know how many still hanging in there with us, but big love, everybody. See y'all.
Yeah, man.
Good night,
Night.
Greg.
Night.
Night. Thus, the original three. Four. I'm done. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I gotta get close up with chickens.
Oh,
I
what?
don't have any animals.
You have a cat.
Well, she's taking care of herself. You can't see Middle fingers flying out the back window.
Stop it. She's not like that.
All right. We appreciate everybody in the chat hanging in with us tonight. It was a last minute
Absolutely.
decision to do
Yeah.
this. And wow. We didn't get to talk about Bigfoot really till the bitter
No,
end.
this was definitely a different show. I love it.
Touched a whole lot of different topics.
We got some yellow jacket talk and some food.
Yeah, a lot of bee talk. I was gonna start calling it beards and bees here soon.
Yeah, sorry everybody in chat. I didn't get to say hi earlier, but I've seen a lot of the comments. So
Yep.
nice to see
And
everybody.
on Tuesday, we will have Daniel Benoit,
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yep.
founder of the
Absolutely.
ECBRO.
Very cool.
Yeah, it'll be a good show.
And Jerry, I think he's done some stuff with Thundercloud.
Okay, good deal. That's coming soon too. Yep. We'll
Yep.
have David Thundercloud, and that'll probably be pre-recorded. So
Yeah,
but we'll
'cause
still Jeff
he
and I'll
works,
be live with it. And Chad will be
he
live
works
with it.
nights, so we'll
Trucker. Yep. We'll pre-record him and we'll come on and do a show like this. You know what I mean? OLC, and we'll be in the chat while it's playing. So
Awesome.
we'll actually have time to be in the chat room.
oh yeah, we'll be in the chat room. Yep. Okay.
Good night, guys, and happy
Absolutely.
birthday again, Jeff.
Thank you, everyone.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Manius Maximus. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Old Line Cryptids. What we got again, Jeff?
Daniel Benoit from the ECBRO.
Daniel Benoit. Okay. See y'all backstage in just a minute.
Yep.
I'm working my way to the outro thing here. All right, man. Good night, everybody. Thanks
Good night,
for
y'all.
tuning
Good
in.
night, all.